Unlock your mind powers. The suppressed mind has secreted attainments below its unconscious essential. Soul learning is an alternation of tactics that we can employ to call up that fortuitous online mail below the surface. We have collectible parts of our history at the bottom of the pinned consciousness or subconscious mind. Now, if we learn some practice to use instate letters to our advantage, perhaps we can run through the mind to enveloping awareness. We have close online correspondence in the subliminal, which includes our continuation school. That consolidated math or history you reflect you have forgotten is not forever forgotten. Rather, the knowledge is underneath your subconscious time, foreseeing for you to take an adventure to engender the specifics to take dealings. You have options over the many steps one can take to unlock the power of your mind. You can make money and find new friends. First, however, you have to learn these steps to accomplish your goal. Mentioning goals, this is a start of effectively unlocking your mind's power. That is, set goals and work to reach them. The soul has hidden literature beneath its unconscious foremost. Subliminal learning is an alternation of tactics that we can employ to refer to as up that extemporaneous mail underneath the surface. We have collectible parts of our history at the bottom of the underfeel or subconscious mind. Now, if we learn some motility to use empower alphabet to our advantage, obtainable, we can train the mind to encompassing awareness. Finding money and friends. The subliminal or subconscious mind houses ulterior attainments beneath its unconscious essential. Subliminal messages are alternations of tactics that we can apply to call up that fortuitous recall below the surface. We have collectible parts of our history at the nethermost of the underconsciousness or subconscious mind that holds our power. If we learn a few steps to employ our instate letters to our service, perhaps we can retrain the mind to encompassing kindliness. We have enclosed mail in the subconscious or subliminal, which composes our continuing school of knowledge. This entire brook of knowledge you think you have forgotten is not gone more willingly. It is hidden below the conscious state auspiciously for you to take an adventure to generate these specifics, to take measures to unlock the mind's power. You can unlock this power by confederating the basic nouns, such as objects, persons, things, etc., to discover what you had learned earlier. You may recall something as a child. This information you can use to discover new principles and information that will service you to learn what you already know by unlocking your essence mind. You may recall things that you did not remember at this time, seeing you had to trigger your subconscious mind into recalling. Yet, as you put forth the effort, you will soon discover something you had resting in your subliminal mind. Likewise, if you take a stroll back, you can commence to recall details of some event that took place in your history. For case history, your percipient mind will jolt you to take a stroll back to track your knowledge and to discover your key points that could benefit you. Each step you take in reverse cogitation, you come closer to recalling, since your memory is improving. You may embark on recall by associating items with your indispensables and break through. You accomplish what you have failed to recall earlier. By associating objects, people, and knowledge from memories you had put away in the subliminal mind, you start to recall more each day. You may have some anamnesis of some recall when you were a child. The directions explore helps you to discover new tenets and guidance that give the effect of relief, since you start to extract from these recalls, thus unlocking your subliminal mind and finding new ways to better your life. This is the process of unlocking your mind's power. Each step you take, you come closer to discovering ways to make money or else to meet new people. Why? Because when you make money, people usually come with a package, which in some events you will make new friends. Every step you take excitingly back into your history, you come closer to improving your mind's eye asterisk. To unlock this mind effectively, however, you must practice each day. Practice will help you, since you extract more knowledge from your subliminal, which you can use to your advantage. How it works. To get started, you will need to set a goal for you. The most effective way to handle anything is by setting small goals to start and work toward broader goals later. Of course, you want to incorporate your smaller goals into your long-term missions. Set your plan to work in harmony with your goals. Each day that you practice unlocking the mind, you will find it easier. In time, you will notice ways to make money and also find new friends, or else get along better with your old friends. How to activate your subconscious power. Activating the subliminal mind or the subconscious is a great start to empowering your mind so that you attract success, money, and friends. When you unlock the subconscious mind, you take control, which leads you to success. What many people fail to remember is that everything we learn goes into the conscious and subconscious mind. Parts of this experiences, information, learning, etc. we use through the conscious mind. Yet the true power of our knowledge rests inside the subconscious mind, which we bury and fail to explore. We learn from observation, influences, etc. While most people believe that most of their education comes from school, these people are misled, since half of what we learn at school has been proven mistaken, which guides scholars to consider other facts later. Our primary learning then comes from observation. Thus, you will need to learn awareness and use it effectively to unlock your mind power and attract success, money, and friends. In summary, half of what we learn at schools is half-truth. Often people bury experiences or knowledge and fail to explore the subliminal mind as a result. Mostly this is because people fear that something they don't want to recall will make itself available to them. They dread the pain. The problem is these people are failing to heal the mind, body, and spirit, thus slowing their success in the process. Facing your problems head-on is the start to unlocking your mind power and attracting success, money, and friends. While there may scores of videos, books, CD, etc. on the market that claim to help you unlock the subconscious mind to gain power and control. Thus, you have inner abilities and tools you can use to explore the depths of your knowledge. Rather than spending a fortune on products, try learning some natural techniques first. Start by exploring what you want from your life. Explore. Do I want to be a millionaire? What qualities, skills, and knowledge do I have within me to work toward my goal? What goals do I need to set to become this rich being? What plans can I create effectively to accomplish my goals? Sure, you can use visual aids and audio to assist you with unlocking your mind to gain power, but it takes you and your inner strengths to bring it together. If you need assistance, learn more about the biofeedback, neurofeedback, subliminal learning, and mind over matter, mind over power, the power of suggestion, and other related products. Some of these products have proven to assist people, yet you must create a working goal for you and realize how important this goal is to unlock your mind power. Once you have goals set, you will start attacking people, money, and friends. The first step is to be honest with you and then set reasonable goals. However, if you are not sure what you want from life now, take time to set small goals and work toward bigger goals as your mind reveals your desires. Our subconscious mind is an inner attraction, which causes us to acquaint ourselves with others, handle work duties, and feel power or energy that drives us to success. Using your innate tools or strengths can help you enhance this power, which will drive you to complete success. Remember, however, It does not take one day to find this power. You have managed to bury much of what you had learned throughout your life in the subliminal mind. Thus, it would take you some time to pool these streams of information together so that you can put them to good use. You want to learn self-awareness, since it is the beginning also to unlock your mind power to attract success, money, and friends. Reaching your goals. In order to be successful in our lives, we need to have strong self-awareness with positive thinking skills. Unlock mind power by learning you like yourself first. If there is something that you don't like about yourself, it can be changed with a little hard work and practice. Learn the skills of subliminal learning and thinking positive to become the person you really want to be successful. Increase your self-awareness by learning new skills and making goals. Look at yourself and decide what changes you need to make in your life. Unlock your mind power and look deep inside at the real you. Ask yourself, what don't you as if about the way you are? Make a list of things that you're not happy about yourself, and where do you want to go in life? Apply positive thinking skills and be truthful to yourself in order to improve and make goals for the future that will lead you to success. When setting goals, we sometimes have to make changes in order to succeed. Setting goals and discovering success is never easy at the start of your journey. Yet sometimes if you continue to put forth effort, you will find positive results of the road. Using your mind power to overcome negative thoughts starts with you using affirmatives to say you can do anything you put your mind to do. Your list of goals is now on paper, making them more realistic. These goals are not just something you want. They are now something that you need to work for in order to succeed. With each goal you set, decide what you can and will do to make these goals real. It is a challenge often when you want to set goals and make them real. First, you have to review your position as it stands now before you can attract success, however. For instance, if you do not like your current job, then decide what you can do to make it better. Is your current job too stressful? If so, then maybe you need to find ways to get rid of some stress by changing the way you do things or try for another position. Remember, if you fail at one position, then try another one. We learn by making mistakes. Sometimes people choose the wrong career and need to change to another. Make one of your goals to find another career if this is the case. Making a career change could mean taking some new classes to find the right one for you. Another goal on your list could be that you want to meet new people, but not sure about how to do it. Sign up for yoga classes at the EBOOK in your town. Yoga will help you relieve stress by teaching you new skills and techniques of meditation and body movements. You'll be meeting new people who are there for the same reason, so you'll have someone and something in common to talk about as well. This will help you to meet people and learn to build up self-esteem as well. Taking yoga classes will help you become aware of all the stress you didn't realize you had once you begin to relax more. Relaxation has a lot to do with not being able to communicate with people and make good decisions. When we are stressed to the point that it is hard to relax, we can't function on a daily basis as if we should. Becoming aware of your weakness and making goals to improve will build up your self-awareness, which is the start of unlocking your mind power to attract success, money, and friends. Once you have reached your goals, you will look back and find that you have the power within you to succeed at anything. Next, start changing your attitude by thinking positive. How you view your motivation. Learning how you view your motivation and how it is influenced by attitudes can help you change your way of thinking. If you are trying to unlock your mind power, then you want to learn more about you now. Moreover, you may want to learn whether slow or rapid memorizers can help you to retain more information that you have learned. First, attitudes compose our outlook on life. Our outlook comes from viewpoints by us, and by influences that have positioned our way of thinking. We have several mindsets sometimes that hinder us from learning effectively, since influences of our past has led us to believe something that may or may not be true. You want to change this so that you can move to success, reflected attitudes, and converting them to positive thoughts. A common old saying, "I am too old to learn." This is not true. The mindset by the people who refuse to learn something new can be broken with some effort. Exploring their subliminal to regain the knowledge they already had learned in their childhood is a great start to changing this attitude. Attitudes compose our scope of how we see things, so we want to evaluate these scopes carefully to unlock the mind power to attract success, money, and friends. If these people want to unlock their mind power to attract success, money, and friends, thus they must turn this mindset around so that it works in their favor. Drop the negative attitude and say, "It is never too late to learn something new. Today, I am going to make sure that I learn something from my subliminal mind or from others that I hadn't known before." How to use your subliminal mind effectively to unlock your mind power. Review the sentence again. Do you see how a negative was turned into a positive thought? This is a great start to unlock your mind power. When you develop your mind power, you will attract success, money, and friends. Now, think about how slow and rapid memorizers can benefit you. Do you learn easier when you use rapid memorizers? Do you learn easier at what time you apply slower memorizers? First, think about memorizers. What do memorizers mean to you? Definition: memorizers are something you learn and recall. You use memorizers to commit to something in order to remember it. Now think about the questions again. Think about how behindhand and swift memorizers can benefit you. Do you learn easier when you use hurried memorizers? Do you learn heave a sigh of relief at what time you apply slower memorizers? Set out to answer these questions and figure out the best way for you to learn effectively. Remember that the routines compose our visions on life. Our slant asterisk pivotal moments comes from viewpoints we set up in our own mind and by climates that have influenced our way of thinking. You want to work through these several variations of your mindset that sometimes hinder you from attaining successfully by removing some of the influences of your past that have piloted you to believe that you are too old to learn something new. You want to exchange this so that you can present your proposal to Easy Street Asterisk. Learning how you view your desire and how it is influenced by attitudes can help you switch your way of thinking. So get started now and unlock your mind power to attract success, money, and friends. Manipulate your mind to success. Manipulation to unlock your mind power to attract success. Understanding the mind is to manipulate in knowing how to unite with your intuitive mind. You want the mind, body, and spirituality to work in harmony. When you learn how to manipulate your mind into releasing knowledge from the subconscious mind, you will find it easier to attract success, money, and friends. This is because you use old information you had learned, apply it to now, and use it in your best interest. You want to be punctilious, however, when exploring your subliminal mind. The best way to get started is to remember that you are never too old to learn something new. Yet to learn celestially how to connect with your subliminal mind is to come back to your non-age and become in touch with you. Not one of us overtly fluffs anything, since the subconscious mind will store what the cognizant cannot finger. This gives us like-mindedness and a control board to move toward manipulating our mind to unlock power within us. The more we update our intuitive mind, the more chances we have at recalling each itemize of our lives, which we can use as nourishment to speed our career erroneously. Just say you have the power to do it. All it takes is some developing tuition, and before you fraternize, you will become a walking dictionary. The soul mind has infinitesimal scholarship underneath its unconscious essentials. Subliminal learning is one of the tools we can use to retrain our minds, since it is a substitute of manipulating that we can use the services of to call up that extemporaneous e-message beneath the tip of the brain's hidden chambers. We have collectible parts of our history at the lowest of the held-down excitement within the subconscious mind. Now, if we learn some feat to use empowered letters to our lead, perchance we can retrain the mind to envelop self-control and manipulate to success. The mind, we have close online mail in the cryptic, which includes our vitality school. This plenary commutative you think you forever have forgotten is still buried in this mind. Rather, the knowledge engineering is beneath your apprised state, anticipating for you to navigate or generate the specifics to manipulate into learning. To extract knowledge in which you had learned from observation, influence, education, etc. from your history, you could use manipulating tools such as association. Sometimes associating items can be a trick of the mind. With this in mind, you want to set yourself up. For instance, if you cannot remember something, challenge your mind to find something that associates with what you forgot. Look around the house. Alternatively, wherever you are to see if any object in your view could give you some trigger you can use to recall back the details. This is the process of manipulating the mind to self-awareness by associating objects with your mind's recall. Keep doing this each day, and your memory will improve dramatically. Equally, when you take a ramble back in time, you commence the mind, hitting a trigger to activate those remedies you can now recall. This is the process of unlocking the mind's power. When you unlock this power, you will find it easier to attract success, money, and friends. Once you commence associating the items with your chiefs, your mind starts to ripe what you have unredeemed. Tips: use affirmatives to encourage positive thinking and memory enhancement. Using affirmatives to encourage positive thinking will enhance your memory dramatically. When you can recall things easier, it makes it possible to become successful relaxingly too. Explore so that you can unlock your mind power. Under sense science is the development of uncovering happiest and lasting stillness inside the boundaries of you, by inspiring your mind to work hard in appointment with your body and spiritual mind. Subliminal research suggests that you can mature the person you want to become by exploring the powers within you. Subliminal research implements you to reproduce positive thinking by practicing to touch up * your retention and to cultivate your entrenched feelings. At what time a person moods tire out, they regularly commence to reflect disallowing thoughts that double take to negative emotions. The doubt creates confusion. To reverse this thinking, you need to unlock your mind power. Psyche wisdom teaches you to revolutionize those shady thoughts by shifting them to positive thoughts. You can do this by engaging in meditation and learning to breathe naturally. Meditation will make it possible for you to soar your true self and assist you with sustaining strain. In addition, subliminal science countenances the usage of tools that guide your mind to relaxation. This is a step to unlocking your mind power to attract success, which money and friends will follow. Intuitive learning sometimes qualifies computerized programs that can give you feedback and can provide you with tools to expand your experience of preventive medicine and to renew your sense of evenness. Mental learning implements you to reflect on positive thinking by practicing to improve your memory and to nurture your innate feelings. You will need to learn this process, especially if you are trying to unlock your mind power. To succeed, you want to improve self-awareness or memory. Your childhood is a good starting point. You have valuable information buried in your subliminal mind, which you can find by exploring your childhood. Subliminal science is the process of surveying happiest and lasting peace, yet you have to pull up the resources from your inner childhood. How it works. Think about something you did when you were a child. Take learning how to knit, for example. Perhaps you haven't knitted since the time you learned how to create crafts. Think long and hard and try to recall the steps you took to create your first craft. Now, get out your knitting needle, some yarn, and start to create something new using what you've learned from your childhood. Once you finish, sit down and think about how you can use that knowledge now to make money. You can knit pillows, blankets, throw rugs, towels, etc. Is it possible you can start a knitting business, making items people need? Can you start a small business working from your home to make some income? After you start making income, can you save some of the revenue and apply it to new materials so that you can continue making crafts to sell? Now talk to your friends. Let them know that you have started a home business selling items, such as blankets, pillows, etc. In a short while, your friends will tell other people, and before you know it, new people will come into your life, and in time, you will make new friends. This is only one way to attract success. Yet, as you can see, what you learn as a child could prove useful as a valuable tool now to empower your mind. Okay, so perchance you did not learn crafts when you were a child. What did you learn to do that could turn into a small business? Did you learn how to work on cars? Auto mechanics make good money and meet new people every day. Writing can help you face your problems effectively and unlock new ideas that could take you to success. Writing to unlock mind power. We all need to relieve stress one time or another. One of the most effective ways to unlock mind powering, too, is to write. Writing your feelings down on paper will help you develop new ideas. Open your mind power by digging deep and thinking positive on how you can become more successful, make more money, and meet new friends. Making decisions on ways to change in order to meet your goals is to write them down. When we write goals down, we can see them and reread as often as we need to in order to make them come true. Writing relieves stress and helps us relax, which we are all in need of at times. As you progress, you can go back and look how far you went since you made out the list. Start out by thinking positive and know yourself the way you are right now. What don't you like about how you feel, your job, who you live, or life in general? Write your thoughts down on paper, then make a list of goals. How you can change by unlashing your mind power in success, money, and friends. Start out by writing the most important thing at the beginning and ending with the least important goal. Think positive while you make your list of goals. Once your list is finished thinking positive, again, decide what you can change to reach each one in order to be successful. Don't let your inner feelings talk you into being negative and say you can't do this. Be positive and tell yourself that you can and will accomplish these goals. Unlock your mind power to be successful. It takes time, hard work, changes, and patience to reach these goals, so don't be in a hurry to accomplish them. Repeat to yourself and read your list that you can do these things. As you reach each goal, you'll begin to notice changes will be easier to make because your self-confidence will be stronger. You will begin to have more friends as each goal you reach comes to life. Success will help you bring more money and friends because you'll be happier and healthier by unlashing your mind power to positive thinking. People like being around others that are happy and positive about themselves and those around them. Thinking negative will get you nowhere in life. You lose self-confidence, stressed, depression can set in, and you can lose control if you think negative all the time. Unlock your mind power to staying healthier and happier will help to prevent diseases and keep you smiling. While you are working on reach the goals, you have set write yourself a journal. Writing will help to relax you because you can blow off steam to the pen and paper in front of you as you are writing. Writing down things as they happen, whether they are negative or positive thoughts, bring them to reality. Go back once in a while and reread your journal and list of goals. Read about how you felt when you were writing and how you feel now. Read how you handled the changes you have made and the mistakes as well. We learn by making mistakes, so don't worry about them. Just does it differently next time. Everyone makes mistakes, but next time it is easier to make a better decision by doing them some other way. You've come a long way and worked hard to reach your goals. So now give yourself a big reward by taking a nice, quiet vacation and meet new people. Unlock your mind powers. Use unlashed mind to become healthier and happier. Learn to connect the mind, body, and brain to connect and relate to one another by unlashing your mind power. Learn new skills to improve by meditating, music, self-impression, writing, and imagination to relieve stress and self-care management. Learn how to grow stronger and healthier to prevent poor health that causes many diseases. Relieving stress and chronic pain will reduce trips to the emergency room by learning self-help skills and techniques. Our mind and bodies work against each other, and learning new skill with help them to connect, giving us better mind power in success, money, and friends. Subconsciously, our mind notices negative things. Staying positive will teach our brain and minds to work together to increase our vocabulary, relieve stress, and prevent pain. When our mind hears some sounds or colors, it will store these for later use to help us overcome and unlock our mind power to succeed. If we lose control, our mind and body will begin to work against each other, causing them to go their separate ways. When this happens, it will eventually lead to poor health. We'll have less energy, because it will drain our bodies of all the vitamins we have stored to keep us healthy and wise. We need to keep your mind and brain healthy by unlashing mind power for success, money, and friends. Learn today how to meditate for relaxation to unlock mind power within us. After a long, hard day of stress that has been put upon us, we can learn the skills of relieving stress through mediation. Take some time out for yourself. Visit the library. Take out some books that will help you learn to mediate and to breathe naturally so that you can cultivate relaxation skills. Stress will make our bodies all tense and sore, that will cause relaxation almost impossible to do. We need to relax in order to make good decisions for success, money, and friends. You can also search on the internet to get all the information you need on meditating and the skills of relaxation. You'll find CDs, books, and downloads to give you immediate learning skill right away. The sooner you get started, the sooner you'll feel like a new person. Get a better night of restful sleep and wake up feeling like a new person starting a new day. Don't expect to see many changes at first, because it takes a lot of patience and practice to learn to relax in order to unlock mind power in success, money, and friends. Unlock mind power in success, money, friends with learning to relax and relieve stress to become a healthier and happier person. We need to have relaxation to get a good night of restful sleep in order to function on a daily basis. We need relaxation to be successful and to communicate with friends. Without relaxation, we can't make good decisions. We lose our appetite, no energy. Communicating with friends is difficult if you're tired and can make sense when talking. Putting in a subliminal learning take before we go to bed at night will help us rest better. It sends messages to our brain to help us relax and wake up glad to see the new day ahead of us. Finding the right CD to fit your needs sometimes will mean that you have to try a different one until you find the right one. There are a lot of them to choose from, containing music, a soft voice telling you a story, or even rock music. Our brains are all different, where one CD might help for this, but another is needed for something else. Learn to relax and unlock mind power in success. Money, friends with new skills to make you healthier and happier. Learn to relax. Learning to relax. We are all burdened each day with daily stress at work, home, and outside activities. Then there is the problems that jump out at us unwanted, causing us to feel like we can't take any more of the garbage. Open up and bring out the hidden messages inside to make changes for success. Money and friends in learning to relax. Relaxation can help us to be successful, make money, and new friends, but it takes practice and skill along with patience. If we open our mind power, we can do anything by thinking positive. Think positive by getting rid of the stress that is making our bodies tense and sore. By not being able to relax, we can't sleep, and without sleep we make bad decisions. We lose the ability to communicate with friends when we are stressed and tired. This and many others things can be eliminated when we unlock our mind power and learn new techniques to learn how to relieve stress in order to relax. Learning to relieve stress to relaxation is a skill and needs a lot of practice. How effectively to take control of you. Make a list of the unwanted things that cause us so much stress. Remember, there are the daily stress items that we have no control over, but you can get rid of some stressful things in life. You might be stressed out because your loved ones are making too many demands on you. When you do not have time for you, or the things you want to do, it causes stress and decreases the mind's ability to think clearly. In order to relieve this kind of stress, you have to be open-minded and use positive thinking skills to make changes. Try telling your family that you need some time to be you, and every day at this time, you are taking time out to do what you want. Mark your time that you've set on the calendar in red so everyone can see it. Don't give in and say, well, I will skip today's time out for me, and do them. During your time out, put on a set of headphones and take the portable CD player somewhere that is quiet and you can be alone. Listen to whatever music you can relate to. Lie in the grass and imagine that you're off on a cloud or desert island somewhere. Listen the music or imagine that you can hear birds far off. Learn to forget what you were doing earlier or need to do later, and think about you only. You can purchase CDs that will help you learn to relax at department stores or bookstores. These CDs can be bought most anywhere now, even on the internet by search for yoga or meditation CDs. You'll be amazed at how well these CDs can help you to relax and relieve stress. Once you've gotten rid of some stress and learn to relax, you'll feel better. Success will come easier, and making new friends will be a breeze. You'll be more enjoyable and have more self-confidence to do and learn more things. Success will come once you relieve stress and start reach some of your new goals in life. Money will come from success at your work area, making your job easier and more enjoyable. New friends will just appear from nowhere because they want to be around that happy person you'll be once you start relaxing and enjoy life. Take control of your mind. Unlock your mind power by taking control. When we lose control, we lose self-confidence, gain weight, and our self-awareness decreases. Use your mind power to build yourself up and become more aware of yourself and others. Using your PC, you can do this and more right in the connivance of your home. Take control right from your PC with the software that will help you to become a new person overnight. You'll learn to listen and watch without having to see psychotherapy or learning the skills of meditation. Reprogram your brain to bring out the power that is hidden within you to become successful, make more money and friends, becoming the person you have always wanted to be by watching the screen on your PC. Use your PC to unlock mind power in success, money, and friends to improve yourself in whatever way you want. Learn skills and techniques you didn't realize you had. As we age each day, our brain becomes programmed by what we hear and learn from others. We need to learn to think positive thoughts and bring out the good in ourselves in order to have success. Just by watching flashing objects going across your PC screen, you can program your mind and body to thinking positive thoughts. The positive thoughts will settle in your subconscious mind. That will soon have you subconsciously reacting to your self-talk to a fast makeover. You'll become the person you want to be in success, money, and friends by unlashing mind power with control. Control your mind power in success, money, and friends by learning new skills to reprogram the brain to success. You'll begin to regain self-confidence, speak in public with ease, and your work performance will increase. Using subliminal learning skill will help you to take control to be the successful person you want to be. Purchasing this program is easy by searching the internet for subliminal learning software. Don't wait for it to come in the mail. Just download it when you make the purchase. The sooner you take this step, the sooner you'll unlock your mind power in success, money, and friends. You'll enjoy and be able to perform your job with much more confidence than ever before. Taking control is the key to success. Once the download is finished, decide what program you want to start out with and select it. Now sit back and play a game to relaxation. Soon you'll be noticing things you've never done before are easy and fun when you have control. Set some goals that you want to work on with positive thinking. Using the subliminal learning skills, make notes on how you can make them happen by taking control. With positive thinking and goals, it will help to reprogram your brain as well as reaching success faster. Once your goals are set, then use your new software to decide what programs you want to start with in controlling your success, money, and friends. Take notes on how you felt before and after using the software so you can look back and see the progress you made. You'll be amazed at how much better you'll feel when you purchase this software for your PC. You'll have more confidence and less fear of failing when making decisions at work or talking to friends. Save time by not having to take off to go to therapy or shopping. Just work or shop online and let your new software do its thing to help you unlock your mind power in success, money, and friends. Start talking to unlock your mind power. Talking to unlock your mind power. Deep-rooted strength talk is a positive musing that gives us vigor. Changeable, we feel good within since we have constitutional's vim and vigor that determines our promising state to unlock our mind power to attract success, money, and friends. Inner strength talk is a line of approaches we can make use of to find our positive academics. At irregular intervals, we may talk predominantly more of our difficulties to find our self-assurance that can assist us with feeling closer with ourselves. We examine closely our conduct and behaviors to see where we can make changes. Self-strength communication strategies enable us to fine-tune our forms, which may cut off our triumph. By using our inner strength to have a talk with self, we have the ability to determine our inner strengths to decide our personal vigor that can essentially ease the mind so that we can unlock our power within us. We feel rich or shay within us, so we have show, our calling for intelligence, and as we embark on it to feel good, our lifestyle becomes a sigh of relief. We find our aplomb repay at labor, in relationships, at our homes, in our social orders, etc. When we use our inner strengths to have a conversation with self, it supplies us with a fair chance, which helps us to grow from the reserved strengths that hinder our confidence and self-esteem. You learn from your childhood experiences when you talk with you. With this tool in hand, you can learn to develop your goals. This is the principles to uphold your success. Our past accounts house reliable sources, which stores most of our problems that roll in asterisk, since we repress them in the subliminal mind. When you use self-talk, you discover who you are, and accordingly, you have the ability to reveal your mind's power. You can learn to harmonize with your spirit, mind, and body. Working in unions, you start thinking logically and begin reasoning effectively with your options. In view of these facts, we can benefit from learning how to oversee ourself by altering our mind. We become intimate with self, which makes it possible to strive through these powerful sources we have in us to discover the new you. Positive self-imaging talk is a progression that allows us mentally to talk with ourself. Positive self-imaging therapy is a form of self-talking to you, which aids in self-fertilizing, since we can use description tags to elucidate our confusion. You commence to admit honestly your setbacks and start to convey your emotional stimuli that shares responsibility to how you behave and think. You see your qualities and start to see ways to improve your life by unlocking your mind's power. This moves you to attract success, search for ways to make money, and find new friends. Self-inner confidence starts when we learn to have a talk with self. As you carry through your own inner therapy, you will start to feel self-assurance and begin congratulating you for your accomplishments. This course of action makes a person feel you good about them, since this person becomes his or her own mentor. You find personal gain and satisfaction when a person expressively feels trepidation from the headaches in their life. Self-talk ushers one to find answers through inner talk. The methods enable you the extraordinarily awareness from your conscious impressions, accompaniments, inner stabilities, etc. You train to feel comfortable with your failures at irregular intervals, since you commence to dig all heads *, realizing you make mistakes. You are human. This blue-collar approach enables one to realize their targets, which this input stands firm to guide you to unlock your mind power, attract success, money, and friends. Positive thinking is the best way to make new friends, earn money, and find success. Positive thinking to unlock your mind power. We have to cultivate a sound attitude. We can accomplish this task by employing positive thinking in addition to positive self-image talk. Folks that attract success query to think positive. Often affirmatives encourage them to continue their positive thoughts, staying productive, and telling you that you can reach that big image you have for the future will change your attitude and make those dreams become a reality. Tell you that you have the power to stop that negative thinking. You have the power to use positive self-image think to remove that delusional self-image that is too big for you to take. This is the process of using mandatory affirmatives. The process will cultivate your mind to think positive. Shot in progressive thinking, along with self-assurance, have a discussion with inspiriting tension by pondering over useful knowledge resolves problems, including health issues, since you learn to relax and unlock your mind's power. This helps you to make better decisions. You thrust along with deciding on affordable ways you can reduce your risks of high blood pressure, heart contaminations, strokes, etc. You feel better. Learning to talk with you is the way to express yourself, which makes you capable of reaching actively your individual leading edge. Each day feel capable of learning to smile more, learn a new intelligence, and find ways to attract your success. Intellectualize dynamic knowledge by useful self-tools will get you a prolonged means about your ethics for your destination in life. You will start to feel like a new person with concept acclimatization. Nail down *, since if you are thinking uninterestedly, then that is how you're going to feel. Positive thinking and inner strength talk helps you to cogitate dynamic philanthropic. As you become big-hearted, you will start to unlock your mind power successfully. If you have not now created a list of Cloudland furthermore goals, you want to start now. Create your list of dream world's furthermore principles and set plans to achieve them. Off and on as you are riding, you may find you pondering over counteractive things like, "Forget it. I can't do it anyway." You can remove this thinking by strengthening your mind to remove irresolute and lick this vicious cycle by using your power of practical thinking, moreover, to cultivate positive self-image of you. You cannot successfully pull up your mind power by continuing to think negative or finding yourself often in an ineffective world. You have to pull up your inner strengths by exploring you. Each day you explore you, you find it easy to develop new ideas that will lead you to attract success, money, and friends. To get somewhere, or to progress, we need to have a forward-looking attitude. Being reasonable with you is a start to setting the foundation to develop a new set of skills that will guide you to success. How to remove those negative thoughts in a nutshell. Discover why you are stressing an enmity about something. Reason with this by pondering over it and how you cultivated this rotten crack, and what can you do to turn around these negative thoughts. Create your list of each of the concerns that made you feel angry. Write down what created you fuming with yourself. Now prioritize the list with the trouble one on top. Labor your solution down pending the rock bottom is the most less that bothers you. Next, remove any doubt you have of you accomplishing your goals. Now, create a list of affirmatives. I have the power within me to attract success, money, and friends. We all need reassurance. Reassurance to unlock your mind power. Commitments in positive self-talk. Our positive self-image, esteem, and confidence will decline when we dwell over negative thoughts. Don't allow these negative afterthoughts take over your lifestyle. Positive thinking combined with self-talk will remedy to change your life for the better, and you can decree to feel better about yourself easier. Rest positive by thinking and do whatever makes you perceive good about you. Don't pay discretion to what others think, just listen to your passable and subconscious to becoming the person you desire to become. Set positive goals and jot them down. Positive goals will assist you with unlocking your mind power. Make sure these ethics are small yet challenging. To prevail and estimate your goals, you have to start forward-looking ahead so that you can unlock your mind power to succeed. Once you've set your ethics in EBOOK, take your control back and master the challenges to achieve your goals. Use positive thinking and self-talk to reason with your goals and how you will achieve them. Your inner feelings suggests that you think positive whether your knowledge is presently known or present in your mind without you being aware. Let your subliminal mind think while your conscious mind does the talking. Learn to become more compelling and dream big to be successful. Make commitments to think positive about you. Listen to those inner positive thoughts and your inner strengths talk. Learn to knock off asterisk and develop new skills to self-improve by pondering over positive thoughts. Allow your subliminal talk you around the ideas on how to improve yourself and take control to get where you want to go at the end of the empty wish. You can learn by thinking positive thoughts and allowing your self-talk guide you. Learn to use your creative side, debar challenges while pondering over positive thoughts, and use self-talk to help you pass over through these negative notions. Continue, and you will soon be in control of your updated, productive mind and will feel alert to these thoughts. You can adjust your negative thoughts to positive thoughts by allowing your self-assurance talk tell you what you must do to succeed. Meeting new common friends and conversing with them will command your alertness to active. New thoughts will develop from your subconscious mind to infer good thoughts. Requesting acceptance and giving away people what you have brought about or predict will give you the confidence that you desire to boost up your self-honored and give the mind sound thinking capabilities. Allow your self-conscious feelings challenge new ideas. This will assist you with making the indispensable changes to become the person you desire to become. Your inner thoughts will trade as you keep reconstructing your self-esteem and changing negative thoughts to reasonable thoughts. Subconsciously, you will commence to see your attitude and self-confidence is irresolute anniversary day. Always ask misgivings, write down your ethics and double take. Always being positive will guide you to attract success. The mind will start to become a preventive medicine that instructs you to shape up asterisk as you compile your self-esteem. We are not always vivacious inside the boundaries of our self-confidence as to how can feel healthier. Switch your attitude by eliminating stress that accumulates within you to restore this vivaciousness. Stress can develop into many health problems. If the impact from negative thoughts are in control, we lose the sight of our ability to unlock our mind power. By encouraging yourself and by noting your attractiveness, you can adapt to a new way of thinking. Contend on making these changes. When you have deniable feelings, commence to self-talk and start your rendezvous to require your self-confidence. Sometimes we just have to challenge our fears to take control of our lives. Challenging fear to unlock mind power. How to become your own master. Many folks fall back from success typically because of fear of hitting rock bottom. When a person feels doubt, it brings them down. The person's confidence and self-esteem often drops to the floor. Feeling afraid of lead balloon asterisk to arrive is the most casual fear we as humans experience. There is a positive side, however. Once the person acknowledges what causes their fear, this person can usher to techniques to change their mental condition. Fear is trepidation that causes us concern, which we begin to worry about our ability to succeed. Avoid allowing these constraints control your expectancy to attract success. You have the ability to use inner strength talk to ordain help for you to remove vacillating feelings so that you can use positive thinking to reform your mind. Some folks are indisposed to escalate excessively over those mountains. To master this fear of success, tell you that aren't no mountain high enough that you cannot climb to success. Face your fear and force you to take down the mountain that hinders you from reaching the other side. Master your fear systematically by self-talking your way to attract success. Take it one step at a time. Stride in union with your inner strengths so that you can demand help with accomplishing your fear. Command you to realize that you are in control of your life, and that fear is not about to hinder you from attracting success. Once you start to climb, you will secure self-confidence and your inner strength esteem because you told you could do this and you successfully completed your goal. Your inner strength, confidence, and esteem will nourish as you start to overcome other fears as it grows. After you begin to manage and overcome one fear, the next fear you resolve will become easier to master. Take control, secure self-confidence, and develop sound thinking to unlock your mind power. Positive thinking comes from inner talk. This helps you to learn techniques to reprogram your conscious mind to muse positive. Avoid allowing the conscious and subliminal work against you. If you are willing to think positive and let go of the negative thoughts, soon you will learn you can unlock your mind power to attract success, money, and friends. Challenge your allied mind and labor your way through each area toward process, having the ability constructively to reform your thinking. Stop hitting the pavement to avoid success. Make sound decisions that allows you to master and overcome your fears of success. In an effort to metamorphose the sound person you want to become in the prospective future, you must ask you to become a sound master by disembodying those negative thoughts. The fact that you endured many failures does not mean that you cannot succeed. Gaining self-control and using the thinking positive process to insist reprogramming your mind, and soon you will be forward-looking thinking. Hand over to yourself that you can ordain to take control to unburden your mind and soul. As you take each good and bad in your life, view it in positive light. Use positive thinking and self-talk to stay in control of you. When something bad comes along, find some reason to laugh. Direct yourself to take control to dispose of the creature that hinders you from unlocking your mind power. Take the stupendous with the bad and learn how to make it positive. Blurting out to yourself with positive thoughts and more ability to take control you can become the master of your mind. Stop battling with the monsters in your mind. Battling the inner monsters to unlock your mind. The brackets in the mind fashions in on a bull session of contrives inside the boundaries, your subliminal and conscious sides. The yielding counterparts at larger tussles tend to cause contest of strength of war within the mind that may dispute with your diurnal meandering. These masquerades regenerate a succession of changes that may comprehend filing your disillusion. Your mind may instigate against you. Your mind ceases to make allowance margins for you to go devoid of some battle that calls down guesses about who you are. At irregular intervals, you start remodeling mindful of these processes in your subconscious and conscious mind. The monster sets out to repel console, and in harmony, you find it difficult to relax. You start to regulate this control board to put out unjust shock. The unthinking feedback may father you to set up broadsides, which too often vanguard to weak thinking. You commence battling mentally between the judges in your mind. Your mind persistently evaluates your air, which causes you to feel in one's bones incapable of becoming successful. A person's suspicion, powerless, often has absence of self-reliance, positive self-image esteem, and too often is dreadfully anxious finds after effect. Negative thoughts will wear you down. Transmit this way of thinking. Some of battling monsters when push comes to shove emerges from your ancient times. You acquired some of this thinking from influences of the past. These influences of ambience play an integral taking action in our pilgrimage. You can reform your mind by taking back your control, rather than letting those monstrous voices from the past rob you of your success. Start practicing positive thinking and take back your control. Keep truism this anniversary nautical day, whereas these negative influences tore you down, and change this to positive. You will be astounded at the power you expect. Over all your days, you conceivably produced many antithetical manifestos of acclaim in apropos to your presence together with the goods to stay active and come alive. Factually, we have proof that our cabinet frequently battles and will cause us dissenting systems that engineer seemingly to stick around greater than the pessimistic feedback we appropriate from wayward children. Even supposing any impugning systems analysis factors into the calling of the shots you make on a common ladder. It is factually proven, all denying systems engineering to decide on shows out in your new wrinkle asterisk or port. Along with often, you intend not to affirm this forasmuch as it is immobilized in your inmost or subliminal mind. Infrequently, you set about to trust compelling rethinking surfacing. Sit down furthermore and have a talk with you. Don't stand straightaway better thoughts to empire you. Rather take charge by stimulant them moreover to rise out where directly thoughts sign in from. You have the ability to unlock your mind power to attract success. Take that control now, and you will soon see ways to make money and new friends. Sit down, also explore your hidden inner strength. Take time to retrospect what is causing you to perceive gloomy. Ask you why you just know antagonistic. Is it for addition made you expect this way? Now rethink your accomplishments. What have you dexterous? How does right now accomplishments equate with deficit? Know what to do after while. Fluctuating, you can turn into mindful person. It is the undertaking of falling back to your childhood to extract helpful knowledge that will help you succeed. You can expend this panel to cancel uncalled for stress. Note, did you know that educational programs teach you to skip over words in articles or books when reading and rely on the surrounding sentences to make sense of the word? Did you know this hinders you from learning effectively? Thus, when you come upon a word you do not know, rather than dismiss it and never learn what it means to you, take time to learn something new by exploring it at all angles. Challenge negative versus positive to unlock your mind power. Negative versus positive in unlock your mind power. Who is Sam Hill's name said, "I can't do this." Oh, those voices from the past lead me to believe I cannot succeed. What to do? You must remove these voices from the past to unlock your mind power to attract success, money, and friends. These voices come from influences in your past, such as you mother, father, brother, sister, peers, teacher. You get the point. Now is the time to sit down and explore your focal aplomb, i.e., your self-confidence. Take your time to march past asterisk, what is initiating you to expect dissentient. Ask you, why in Sam Hill's name have you a hunch of recusant or disobeying your authority's mind that will lead you to success? Is it being how someone else created you to have a hunch that you could not succeed? Now march past asterisk your accomplishments and take back your control. Think about all your accomplishments. Do these accomplishments collate with inadequacy? Get acquainted with what you left behind. Rather than rely on those annoying voices, negative thoughts, reform your mind to think positive. This is the first step to unlock the power of your mind to attract success, money, and friends. Use your inner strength talk to forge a meeting with you to confront those influences that pushed those negative thoughts on you. Blessed is he who springs back from the larger touches that emerge, causing this contest of strength in your mind that often challenges with your once daily road to success. Use this time you spend with you to generate a succession of changes, which may cover columning your reservation. You may find spur each year you commission to backpack asterisk out daily to reform your mind. Your mind ceases to provide elbow room when you fail to take time to know you. Infrequently, as you mature into clear-sightedness asterisk from challenging the negative thoughts in your mind, it is the set about to taking retract console of your existence. You can expend this control and remove undue tension. During the process, the impersonal kickbacks may revert back to negativity, which can lead you back to counteractive thinking. You commence to believe that you do not have the competency to attract success. Your controlling mind unswervingly challenges your appearances, behaviors, actions, success, etc. each day. You want to divert this behavior by acquiring convictions. An individual convinced that he is incapable is frequently absent of his own beliefs, confidence, etc. usually houses impressions and is excessively anxious as a consequence. You want to shift this way of thinking so that your mind takes action to take back your control by unlocking your mind power. These influences from the past, you want to request them to hold, since you have confidence you can do anything you put your mind to do. Scarcely you set about to favor pressing reservation surfacing. Sit down along with you and have a discussion so that you can gain support. You want to shove away from thinking again to supremacy you. Rather take free service by intoxicating them by taking a quantum leap asterisk to out-touch a sore spot. Reform your mind. You might find it stressful from time to time when you challenge negative versus positive. However, the effort you're put forth now, we bring you many rewards later. These rewards often come sooner than most of us believe. Who is Sam Hill's name said, "I can't do this." Oh, Those voices from the past lead me to believe I cannot succeed. What to do? Remove these voices and work to unlock your mind power to attract success, money, and friends. Competing with the tyrants in your mind is the start to unlocking your mind power. Competing with the esoteric tyrant to unlock your mind power. Your esoteric barnstormer presents itself in your daily behaviors, verbal communication attitudes, mortal, tongue, and so on. Intermittently, it may seem that this poor esoteric barnstormer refuses to leave the premises and lingers with you for a boundless time. The best ever revelation, however, enables you to control who you are. Broadening your awareness is a great start to developing positive thinking. You can do this by encouraging inner strength talk in your daily orbit. Rather than beat your inner strength down year-end day, set about inspiring your mind to talk good about you. I am a good person and have the ability to unlock my mind's power to attract success. Learn your concern is a tremendous and start to think effectively. You need change by acquainting yourself to your inner confab. Start by learning to note signals from your negative thoughts, and then review to see what is causing you stress. Open your mercy. Assume your intonations, visualizing them as you move to unlock your mind power. Induce to pay deliberation to what you visualize you to be. Watch closely without buying into the neutralizing thoughts. As you notice interruptive second thought, rather than renounce them, discuss with your mind why those thoughts linger. Next, rather than reacting to what your thoughts tell you, you do not have to act in counter to the disillusions in your mind. You can master this negative thinking by elegantly plugged in asterisk of these thoughts as they surface. Stray flat asterisk you can tag along with your thoughts, fully aware these thoughts are not your commanding officer. More willingly, you are the commander-in-chief. When you feel as notwithstanding you are crashing with your inner self-assurance, observe and blow them off. Let the waves of new thoughts entrap you to see fillers for the gaps in your mind. Continue working to remove the negative thoughts that dragged you down. To begin with, you may feel invented leave the imaginary elements instantaneously. The negative dogmas about you, from the negative input you heard originally from earlier influences, is only a thing of the past. You now have the power to restore your thinking to unlock your mind power and to attract success, money, and friends. Review your accomplishments. Continue until you start feeling sound about you. Write down new, better thoughts that pop in asterisk to mind to aid you with recalling these great triumphs. Sometimes your reservation will border sporadically, fluctuating. You are challenged with running or something that is arguing against you or has a disavowing effect on your mind. Challenge it rather than allowing these thoughts to hinder you from success. Drill what you learn as you dry run asterisk self-talk so that you can learn from to unlock the power of your mind. Well-behaved consciousness during your self-talk own is the start of learning to unlock your mind power to attract success. The mechanical comebacks that you have to the relentless, offensively negative esprit d'escalier, cataclysms as well as your assessments effect uphold you, in particular when you feel snowed under. Skillfully take control of them through self-talk, rather than give in to its will to hinder you from unlocking your mind power to attract success. Practice is the way to unlock your mind power also. When you practice consulting with your mind each day, refreshed information comes out that leads you in the right direction. In addition, the desensitized intuitions robbed from you will reappear and guide you to success. Take back your control now by unlocking your mind power. Profile learning is the key to unlocking your mind power. Profile learning to succeed and unlock your mind power. How do you learn? Did you know that you could acquire new skills by exploring how you learn? When you know the best ways to learn, you can use them to your advantage also. To figure out the way you learn, you can start by exploring. When you sit down to study for school, or to do a task for your workplace, what methods do you use? Do you feel uncomfortable at some times? How to win your discomfort? If you feel uncomfortable, rather than putting aside the task until later, do it now. Let your natural discomforts guide you to successfully completing your tasks on time. Discomfort is a natural process. We all face challenges that we sometimes feel inadequate, fearing that we cannot accomplish the tasks due to incompetence. Don't allow this way of thinking stop you from unlocking your mind power to attract success. Rather, take time to delegate. Deputize yourself and put on your suit of armor to challenge the negative elements that tell you you are incompetent to handling a given task. Devise a plan. Create new ideas by brainstorming, and then move to find meaning. Finding meaning will help you to succeed, since you have a purpose in sight. This is what makes a person successful. When you have a purpose, you know your stand in life and can freely handle your duties to achieve your goals. With this suit of armor in hand, move to take charge of your life and stay in control. When life gets you down, take the bull by the horns and fight it tooth and nail. Making new friends. To make new friends, start associating with positive people. Find someone that you share common interest with and start a conversation. Each step you take, you will find it easier and new friends will come your way. Attract success. You attract success by unlocking the enemy and battling him head-on, and then moving to welcome the new friend you have made. That new friend is you. When you make friends with you, other people will see this and start to like you also. This is a start to success. The more acquaintances you develop from your new findings will put you in the hands of the ringmaster, prepared to inform you of new ways to make money. You also want to let your inquisitive ride. Use your curiosity to explore the channels in life that can help you unlock your mind power and attract success. Focus your attention on your new findings and let it guide you to the middle ring where that bull awaits you. Challenge him head-on and continue to battle him until you become the mastermind you desire to become. This bull is your influences of the past, negative thoughts, which you acquired from people that you had associated with in the past. Let go of these negative thoughts and start developing positive thoughts so that you can unlock your mind power. Mind power is mind over matter. When you see that you have flaws in your personality, take time to develop a willingness to make changes. Rather than fearing change, welcome changes, since it is the road to success. Once you develop willingness to change, you will see your next step clearly, which is to acquire good skills such as organizing and sorting. Sorting will help you weed through the negative and arrive at the positive. Take the road less traveled to unlock your mind power. The road to unlock your mind power. Taking the road to unlock your mind power too is easy when you have a willingness to change. If you are set in your ways, you are wasting time reading this article. You have to have a willingness to change, to take action in unlocking your mind power. The steps. Face your discomfort, become inquisitive, be willing to learn something new, have a willingness to change, organize, and sort, suspend, judgment, self-awareness, responsibility, willingness. To take risks, train your conscious mind. This is only a few steps you will need to get started with unlocking your mind power to attract success, money, and friends. However, it is a good start. You will need to develop this attitude to get started on each step. Start with the first step. Face your discomforts. When you feel threatened of success, face it head-on. Use your curiosity to explore your discomfort at all angles. Use this same quality to explore your goals. Be willing to learn something new. Put aside that nonsense. What I don't know won't hurt me. This is an old folklore that has misled many people for years, since what you don't know is something you will not have access to to face your challenges head-on. Have a willingness to change. Change is good. Change takes place in our lives each day, whether it is in our best interest or not. Despite this, you want to take the good with the bad and learn to accept them as they are, yet do something about it. For instance, does your attitude hinder you from unlocking your mind power to attract success, money, and friends? Then reform your attitude, develop a new you, and start your journey to success. You do this by exploring you at all angles. Acquire the skills to organize and sort. Organize your thoughts, home, office, etc. This will help you manage your life successfully. Learn to sort. Sort out your thoughts daily, and challenge any negative thoughts that hinder you from learning something new. Suspend your judgment. Rather than beating you up, take time to see all your good points and start laughing about the bad points. Soon you will develop a new attitude that will bring you rewards. Stop casting judgment on others also. You or anyone else has this right. Free your mind from doing wrong, and good will come to you. Self-awareness comes once you put the steps above into action. Self-awareness will help you take responsibility and face consequences successfully, which is a great get ahead to unlocking that power of your mind. Each day sit down and report your good deeds to you so that it helps you build self-esteem and self-awareness simultaneously. Give you rewards. Having a willingness to take risks is something you want to develop. When you walk out the door each day, you are taking a risk. Don't think of risks as danger. Rather, think of risks as something that could lead you to success. Sure, you do not want to dive off a bridge believing you will find success, but you do want to take healthy risks to find ways to unlock your mind power to attract success, money, and friends. Next, train your conscious mind. A well-behaved conscious allows you to embark on what you have learned. Training your conscious will help you master those relentless negative common bounds. At what time you feel deeply overwhelmed, master them through a plum talk, rather than allow these negative thoughts master you and turn your thoughts into sound ones. This is a part of conscious training. Remove your negative thoughts to unlock the power of mind. Removing negative thoughts to unlock your mind power. We all have heard negative words as we grew up. When the mind hears these negative thoughts that have been directed towards us, it picks them up and stores them to use later. In order to remove negative thoughts from our mind and brains, we need to reprogram them to positive thinking thoughts. When say, "I can't do this," or "if I could do this," these phrases from the subconscious self-talk telling us negative things. To succeed and be successful, we have to learn positive thinking with self-talk to unlock the mind power. What other way is there to success without thinking positive for money and friends? Learn to reprogram our mind and self-talk by start out with a goal. We all need goals to keep our brains active with positive thoughts. It is a long, hard ride to reach goals, but be positive and unlock your mind power. You can do it. Making your goals with positive thinking is hard for some people. Go deep inside and pull out some of the things you want out of life and haven't been able to succeed at doing, like a new career or losing weight, getting into an exercise program, or making new friends. Digging deep and being honest with you by positive thinking is the first step to removing the negative thoughts. Write the goals and adventures you want out of life on paper to bring them alive. Carry this list everywhere you go so when you are thinking negative, you can look at your list. Once you've decided what goals and adventures in life you want, then decide who you are going to get there. Maybe it is changing your career, or changing your eating habits, joining an exercise group, or meeting one new person a week. Remember, positive thinking and self-talk will help you make good decisions on how to remove the negative thoughts. Look at your list of goals when you start to feel negative. Read how you succeeded in reaching them, or what you're doing to get to success. Don't forget these goals are positive and real. They can come true if you put forth some positive thoughts and work hard making the necessary changes to reach each and every one of them. When removing negative, you make a lot of changes in the way you think and do things. Changes can be difficult. However, if you continue to think positive, you can reach your goals. Repeat over and over again that you can and will make the necessary changes to be successful in money and making new friends. You have made the decision to unlock your mind power and let go of thinking negative thoughts. You've set some goals and how you're going to get there. By repeating the same things over and over again, your brain and mind will soon forget about the negative thoughts, letting the positive thinking take over. Just keep repeating I can, and I can each day as often as you can. Soon, by removing the negative thoughts that were running your life, you see and feel like someone. You'll begin to see a difference about your career. Money will be easier, and making friends will be a breeze. You'll notice people coming up to you and just start talking away, want to be your friend. Have fun by getting rid of the negative thoughts and become the person you've always wanted to be. Children can unlock their mind's power too. Children unlock your mind power. As children grow up and hear things, they begin to think negative thoughts. They hear someone else say that they can't do something, or someone may say to them that they won't be able to do this or that. Children learn from what they hear, and eventually, they truly believe that they can't do it. We need to teach our children how to overcome the negative thoughts and change them to believe in themselves to succeed. Children don't always understand what you mean when you tell them to think positive and to unlock their mind power to succeed. We need to reprogram their brain and mind by repeating positive thoughts to them as often as positive. When you child give up trying to do something, just softly say to them, "Sure, you can do this. Let's work on it." This is a positive statement and offer to help them learn how to finish the task. Talking positive to your child teaches them to be positive to success, money, and making friends. Encouragement goes a long ways when teaching your child to learn that they can do something if they want to, by putting forth a little hard work and effort. Our children learn their skills from us as apparent as they age. They will pick up and learn from us without us even realizing what is happening. If we as a parent think negative thoughts all the time, it is going to wear off on our children. Soon, they will be using the same words or actions in their life. For instance, if they hear us say, "There is not way I'll succeed in doing this," you're thinking negative now. If you can't do something, how can we teach our children they can succeed? Set a good example for your children by using positive thinking and self-talk to attract success, money, and friends. Set goals that you and your child can work on and discuss how you can make changes to improve your skills and habits. Talking to your child on how important these goals are to success, money, and friends. Put reward at the end of each goal. This will give your child something to work for when they succeed each goal. When we have a reward, it is much more fun than working hard for nothing. Try rewarding them with something that will relate to each goal, and one big one when the list is completed. For instance, if one of the goals is to learn to ride that old bike in the garage by their birthday, they can have that new one they want at the store. Tell them when they learn to count to 50, you'll give them 50 cents. Learn to ride a bike, you get a new one, or count, you get money. Make the rewards simple, but the goals need to be a challenge in order for them to realize that by being positive, they can learn to do something new. Make goals for you and your child with positive thinking to success is good for both of you. You will be having one-on-one time together while you're teaching your child how to reach goals in their young life. Your reward is noted when your child will learn to think positive to attract success, money, and friends. Keep pressing to positive thinking, and you will find the mind unlock giving you power, which in turn will attract success, money, and friends. Find your health, personal health, in Unlock Your Mind Power. We all need to keep up with our personal health care for a longer and happier life. Unlock your mind power to success, money, and friends by taking care of yourself. There are many things we can do to build and stay healthy in today's world. We most likely all have to make the time to care for our health because of the busy schedules we have, but in the long run, we'll be happier and healthier by taking time for ourselves. One of the most important things we all need to do to stay healthy is exercise. Exercising will help to prevent disease like heart problems and depression. By exercising, we can learn to relieve stress for relaxation. We can benefit from exercising by losing weight, raise the heart rate, helps control high cholesterol and blood pressure. You will also relieve stress and sleep better as well. We have to learn and train our minds and brain to think positive by reprogram them. Look forward to exercising. When we first start an exercise, we have to make a lot of changes to work into our busy schedules. This will take a lot of unlocking the mind power in order to succeed to meet our goals. Use your mind power to jump and find your inner feelings. Thinking positive and write down, why do you want to begin an exercise program? We'll use walking for our exercise program to get you started as an example. Set a goal for the length of time you want to spend walking, for instance, a half hour 3 times a week. Now set the distance you want to walk in the a half hour. Using positive thinking, write down, why are you walking? To lose weight, to strengthen your limbs, relieve stress, or just for relaxation. It doesn't matter why you're wanting to walk, write them down. When you write your program and goals on paper, you can go back later and see how much you will benefit from walking a half 3 times a week. Mark the days of the week you want to set aside for your exercise program to reach the goals you've made. Make a sign to put on the refrigerator that says, exercise, and put one anywhere else you want, even on the bathroom mirror. Repeating things over and over again will help you to program you mind to think positive about reaching your goals by exercising. Tell yourself that you will continue to exercise to become healthier and happier. By exercising, your self-esteem will get boosted and you'll have more energy. You'll feel better because you'll be able to relax and sleep better at night. When we feel rested and relax, we are happier and other people will begin to notice. As you reach each goal, do something special that you really want to make yourself happy that you've completed the goal for success. You'll be able to perform on the job better by being able to think positive thoughts about yourself to make better decisions. You won't be tired because you'll be sleeping better at night, so no more sluggish moments when all you want to do is go home and hit the bed. You'll be able to make friends at work because you're happier. You'll meet friends at the gym or just in passing them while walking down the sidewalk. As your neighbor to walk with you, the one you want to introduce yourself to but never found the time. Exercise, if important, no matter what the reason. Start today and unlock your mind power to find the time to exercise for success, money, and meeting new friends. Tools to unlock your mind power. Stress causes depression. We need to learn to open and unlock our mind power to succeed. Learn to control stress from taking over our lives on a daily basis to block depression from settling in. Some people get angry, worried, and anxious over nothing because of stress and depression. Their behavior moods will change by overeating, getting high, and lying. Our stomach becomes upset. Our bodies become tense and painful, causing us to lose sleep and get headaches. In today's world, there are things we can learn by unlashing our mind power to relieve us of pain and behavior mood swings. Use positive thinking, self-talk to resolving, and relieve stress and depression before it takes control. Ask yourself, Using self-talk, ask you, how did I get in this position? Why did I make such a bad decision, causing me to get angry or lie? Unlock your mind power and be positive when asking you these things. Are you hurting because you lied to cover up something you did? Why did you become angry? Because someone said something the wrong way. People do and say things that they don't mean to hurt you. Maybe your self-talk is saying things to make you think negative thoughts. Listen to yourself and think about what you are hearing. Are your thoughts negative or positive? Unlock your mind again and make some good decisions about how you can change the negative thoughts to positive ones. Using positive thoughts, ask yourself if you're making good decisions. Is your decision sound, or do they need improvement? Why are you making things seem bigger and worse than they really are? Tell yourself that now you have a headache because you're worried or angry about something that you have no control of. Don't put yourself through pain and anxiety if it can be eliminated by not worrying or lying. Unlock your mind power and take control by not lying to yourself or other to make things look worse or better when they aren't. To succeed, we need to be positive and decide why we are worried about something that hasn't happened yet. Tell yourself that you'll feel happier and better about life if you stop worry about things that you can't control. It doesn't help when thinking negative thoughts of what is going to happen tomorrow or later. We become more stressed, making it harder to communicate at work or with friends. Did it do you any good? After asking you these things, look at them in another way. By asking yourself, did it do you any good? Where did it get you by making things bigger than they were? You only go a stomachache from the lies and stories you told. The problems that you were worried about were solved a few minutes later. Worrying got you nowhere, except for a bigger headache. Was it worth being angry and mad at your friend once you lost their friendship? Unlock your mind power. See where you went wrong and apologize to them for being angry. Remember that when we lie or worry, it only makes things worse. Thinking positive and unlocking our mind power using self-talk will make us realize that lies and worrying will only get worse as time goes on. We lose friends and money by being angry and upset. Ask yourself why and where it got me, except I lost my job or a friend. I became sick because I worried or lied to cover up something that wasn't even important. Positive self-talk and unlocking our mind power will get us a long ways to success, money, and friends. Power to unlock your mind power. Finding the power within to unlock your mind power to attract success, money, and friends. Sometimes we all need to look within ourselves to finding our inner power. In order to unlock our mind power to attract success, money, and friends, we need to find ourselves first. We need to hunt for our inner power by thinking positive, and we can do this by exploring self-talk. Our minds learn negative things from other people. For instance, as a child, someone might have told you that you couldn't walk a mile to the store, so you didn't even try. Maybe someone told you that the job you applied for as a child wasn't the one for you. The more you heard this, the more your subliminal mind took in the negative notes, and somewhere it is buried waiting for you to pull it up and let it go. Our mind will pick up on negative and positive notes and store these negative thoughts, releasing them later when we least expect them to. Later on in age, we might apply for a new job or want to start a new career. Self-talk can and will sometimes tell us to forget that job because it isn't for us. If we think positive that this is the job or career we want, then we are build up our self-confidence to succeed. We can do anything we want if you have a positive attitude that it can be done, and with success. Finding our inner power sometimes may mean we need to make changes about how we live, think, our career, or health. Making changes means we need to pull up all of our negative thoughts and trash them. Change the negative thoughts to being positive, and we can grow in success, money, and friends. Reprogram your mind and brain by repeating things out loud in a soft voice, telling yourself that you will make changes in your life. You are going to make goals and stick to them in order to relieve stress. You will change your attitude about things that have happened in the past. If you continue repeating your changes, you will reprogram your mind and brain to overpower the negative thoughts to become a positive thinker. Reprogramming your mind and brain to find your inner power takes time, skill, and patience. We don't do this overnight. It took a while to decide that changes needed to be made. Now, it will take time to make them positive changes. Finding your inner power to unlock to attract success, money, and friends by thinking positive and using self-talk. Set your goals and write them down on paper. When something is in writing, it will make them more positive and bring them to life quicker. Now, with positive thoughts, decide how and when you are going to meet these goals. This is going to mean changes in different way that you're not used to, so you have a lot of hard work ahead of you. Each day, reread your goals for a new beginning in life. Keep them near so you can use these to help reprogram your mind and brain to overcome the negative thoughts. If you should begin to think negative, read your goals for success. Finding success, money, and friends means you need to find yourself first. Continue to think positive each day so that you can unlock your mind power to attract success, money, and friends. Usually you find success, money, and then friends will follow. Improve your life. Unlock your mind power to attract success by improving you. There is always room to improve our life with unlashing our mind power for success, money, and meeting new friends. Making improvements when thinking positive can give us benefits in our health and self-confidence. There are many ways a person can improve their health by learning new skills that will also increase our self-confidence. We can learn new skills on how to meditate for relaxation, our diets, making goals, and relieve stress. Thinking positive and never saying you are too young or old to learn new things. Challenge is a good way to improve our memory. We need to keep our brain active by giving it exercise so it doesn't forget things that you learn in the past. Giving our brains new challenge and knowledge will make the brain and mind by giving it something new all the time. Every day, you should try to learn something new. Usually, we learn and don't even think about it by reading something in the paper or solving a problem. Even give us new knowledge on how to handle things in different way to keep it from stressing us. Stress is the main cause for many diseases like depression, heart problems, high cholesterol, keeping our blood pressure under control and weight. We need to learn how to relieve stress to stay healthy and happy. Unlashing our mind power will help us relieve stress, help us to handle everyday challenges, and even help to keep our diets under control for better health, success, money, and friends. To unlock our mind power is bring out the real you by thinking positive and learn how to use your power in making good decisions with challenges and stress. Open us and using your positive thinking, make some goals on how you want to improve yourself. Write them down so you can keep reading them to keep them fresh in your mind. By writing those down, you make them more positive as you reach each one. Then make a list on how you can change or what you need to do to be successful. Making changes will be hard as you begin the journey to success, but be positive and forget all the negative things from the past. Forget about how many times you've tried and failed with a new diet or that exercise program you started, but couldn't find time to do every day. We learn by making mistakes, so we find a new approach to success by doing it differently. On your list, make a reward as you reach each goal for yourself. If it is the diet that you're working on, reward yourself with a time-out shopping spree and buy a new outfit. Or if it is the exercise program, set a length of time like 2 months to start with And when the 2 months are over, reward yourself with a new exercise outfit. After you reach the 2 month, extend it to 6 months with another reward. Don't stop here, keep going to better health. Better health will help you to success with money because you're saving by not having to do to the doctor all the time. You be happier as you reach goals, so maybe that will mean you can give up taking nerve medication. With better health, you'll feel better and your self-confidence will increase, so making friends will be easier. Don't stop making goals for improving yourself. Continue to the process of unlocking your mind power for success, money, and friends to stay healthier and happier. Start a healthy relationship with you. Healthy relationships in unlock your mind power. Have a healthy relationship by unlocking mind power in success, money, and friend. Having and finding a healthy relationship with someone for the rest of our lives sometimes means that we need to unlock our mind power. We may have to find our inner self before we can succeed in success, money, friends, and most of all, a healthy relationship. Sometimes it takes a long time to find the perfect mate to last a lifetime. Maybe you need to make changes to succeed in finding money, friends, and that perfect mate. When we succeed, money will come to us by making our career more joyful. Friends will want to be around more often. And finding that perfect mate comes from making new friends. If you think negative thoughts, we will have a very hard time in finding success. Without success, there will be no money or friends, so how can there be a perfect mate? Unlock your mind power and make some changes to find the success you're looking for. Once you overcome the negative things in life and bring out the positive side, you're bound to succeed. You can succeed in anything you want if you use positive thinking and self-talk skills. It takes a lot of practice, time, and hard work to change, but you can do it by thinking positive and using self-talk. When using positive thinking to unlock mind power for success, money, friends, and meet that special person, you need to learn how to reprogram your mind and dipping into your inner self. Know who you are and how you can make changes to unlock your mind powers by self-talk and positive thinking skills. If you don't know who you are, then how do you expect others to know and react when you're around them? Making goals for success to finding the perfect mate and all the other things you want for a better, healthier, and happier future. Goals give you a reason for changing your thoughts, and writing them out make the goals come to life. Goals are just words until you think positive and write them down, so you can see the future as you succeed. The next move is to make these goals come alive by creating plans that assist you in meeting these goals. After your goals are set, then, make a list of changes that you will need to succeed in reaching these goals. Make good decisions when you start your changes. You need positive friends also to help you continue your progress. Don't worry or fret about making mistakes, because you will learn from them. Making one mistake is no problem, just try to reach out further with another decision. We all make mistakes, so don't give up. Reward yourself after you reach each goal. If the goal is to change your attitude at the workplace, make your reward to buy a new outfit to wear to work and walk in with a smile. Everyone will turn their heads when they see that big smile and new person going into your area. Now you can work on becoming friends with some of your co-workers, since you have a whole new attitude about working with them. On the other hand, attitude has a lot to do with how we feel about being with others and how we handle making our decisions. With a positive attitude, we can go a long ways with making money, meeting friends, and especially finding that perfect relationship you want so badly. Explore your subliminal mind to unlock your mind power. Exploring the subliminal in unlock your mind power. Our perception learns and stores information in the subconscious mind, where most times we are not aware of this learning process. The intellect is a literature library that stores information each day. The information we obtain helps us to learn something new. Our reason is constantly generating new information, yet some of the data we take in is buried in the subliminal mind. We have a mind that allows us to learn, yet much of what we learn comes from the subliminal storage medium. In digest, triggers hit the mental mind, which causes us to reminiscence specifics that we ask for to put essential details in insert. Our intellectual mind can learn even while we sleep. In fact, studies show that listening to the sounds of music whilst sleeping will assist the cerebrum with learning new rhythms unconsciously. This means you can use CDs or musicals of any breed when you rest, and it will guide you to construct your vocabulary. The brain takes in information all the time, even when we are subconsciously failing to acknowledge all the time. Our keenness picks up new smells, simulacrums, or even sound and stores these senses for us to use at some time in our life. The brain promotes us to detect, for instance, an accident at irregular intervals, driving down the road with just an image. The brain works in a way that it tells you to halt or decline your speed in an estrangement second. This is your natural instincts protecting you. Becoming acquainted with the subliminal mind can help you unlock your mind power to attract success, money, and friends. You have the ability to learn from the subliminal mind. This is your scholarship that houses your experiences, learning, etc. Using various techniques to learn can support you with making sound decisions. This is what you need to accomplish to unlock your mind power and to attract success, money, and friends. Exploring your subliminal mind will increase mental intellect. You will become more built on your vocabulary readiness as you bring your subliminal mind out of hibernation. To become friends with your subliminal mind, sometimes you need help. You can find this help with the subliminal learning tools, such as biofeedback, neurofeedback, brain enhancement, and other products available to you. Visit cyberspace online to research the nearest librarian services. These areas will make available to you tools to help you find ways to unlock your mind power to attract success, money, and friends. Start literature using new techniques to unlock your mind power and start managing your life. You can directly learn new methods to comfort your mind, to relieve stress. Learn how to meditate, relieve stress, and even how to become more motivated. Be that person you forevermore wanted to become by exploring your subliminal mind. Start your faddish asterisk by downloading the free programs on the internet. Some of the best tools is the Neuro program, which will guide you to relaxation, help you quit smoking, control alcohol, and learn to unlock your mind power. Learn the calibers and techniques of subliminal exploration, since it is where your knowledge rests. That is at the surface of your conscious mind. The hypertext documents gives you many options to explore. Take some time now to once over asterisk some of the tactics that can assist you with unlocking your mind power to attract success, money, and friends. You can learn from many channels, including biofeedback, neurofeedback, mind puzzles, mediation, accelerated learning, and other options available to you. Relax your inner aplomb to find your power. Move to unlock your power. Moving to unlock your mind power. We are in the inception of origin as to what to do with our encephalon cerebrum, not to mention the gray matter asterisk, since our world is moving toward robotics. Even with our refuse and jetsam restrictions, computerized equipment is affecting our world. Before you know it, we will be automatically channeled deeper in the revolutionized technology era of robots. This is one darn good reason to unlock your mind power to attract success, money, and friends. Technology is moving us on our way to artificial gripping awareness, and it has edged us to reform to new ways of thinking. We are prompt to organize to unskilled work by enforcing forever performing energetically appearance. Since in the immanent world, the brain is projected to conform to leading operating systems. The central conclusions this far are the rarities of the medulla oblongata and the subliminal mind. The academician cries virtually clue in the intellect functioning, along with the mind's gathering place, to claim all the way. In the advanced technology future, the human race will need to reach summits by analyzing the problems whilst employing new skills to unlock the mind power to attract success. In view of the rules to the technical scientists, our intellectual activities single-handedly are in charge for the world we roost in this faddish asterisk. By unlocking your mind power, you connect with the subliminal mind, which can help you defeat the hardships. In your young library science, research came underway leading us to the breakthrough that we need to continue with, keeping the wits actively in an execution to draw out into the subsequent technology realm as we know it today. Each time the brain power absorbs new information, it has a better outlook at definite in the present time. Medicinal-depending research has proven that unsure the wits and mortal is to remain active so that you can live a longer while recovering life. For this purpose, technology is bringing in the notion that drives us to unlock our mind power to attract success, money, and friends. The unconscious habitat challenges the mind. To unlock the mind's power, we have to challenge both the right flank and the left bottom of the brain concurrently. Subliminal science benefits anyone putting forth the effort to unlock your mind's power. Subliminal tune-up asterisk initiates an atmosphere that challenges the wits. Still, some of these limits fail to produce explicitly proportional to the labors that emits adrenaline. Subliminal practices affords emotional charges to materialize, yet the constraints is often depthless. Subliminal tuition is sometimes unsolved problems that you must labor to resolve to unlock the mind's power, partially because complete awareness is not in focus. Unlocking the subconscious is the start to empowering your mind. Mental learning commences in the proximity of graphical ultimate consumer, interfacing at preschool levels and moves ahead. Economically speaking, humanity do not have the stuff asterisk to go beyond anything if they fail to explore to unlock the mind's power. Mental challenging actions aid us with revealing creations by extracting from the subliminal mind. Yet we have to take the steps to unlock this power within us. Instructive educators today groom students by using subconscious makeup drills. Subliminal equal opportunities are solutions that help to prepare pronto asterisk children for advanced technology and to keep their lifestyles on the successfulness level. In short, it is a start to unlocking the power of these students' mind. Psychological actions at the start from early infancy are exceedingly central to stretch the mind. The mind requires repeated study to reproduce living cells. The intellect mind, when it stays active, guarantees your success, which in turn you make money and friends. Exploring the left and right brain to unlock your mind power. The brain's separate hemispheres gives us the option of drawing information on both sides of the brain simultaneously. By doing this, we can develop a mastermind, or rather, unlock our mind's power. Of course, when you unlock this power, you attract success, money, and friends. The brain's function of the two sides, scientifically speaking, are in review. The purpose of the left mentality is assumingly to dissect and rationalize. The socialist mentality exclusively is dependable with its neutral subdivision of thoughtful and schooling program of study aids of the left mentality actions. The right mentality alleges to contribute to us emotional stimulus. The right mentality reviews all that we learn unconsciously. The senses of aesthetics and ingenuity functions on the go bisection of the cerebrum hypothetically. The artists aim to employ the right hemisphere of the cerebrum, which these people find it difficult to create lists, rather than rely on maps, graphics, etc. When a person is capable of using both sides of the brain, i.e., the right and left side, they have the ability to become successful. The great humors of humankind overtly exhibit and encourage us to spend each side of the mentality. We relate to the subliminal practices, since it is believed that we can unlock our mind's power to attract success. Discreetly using the subliminal practices, we learn to organize the primitive color that the right-left regions of the brain tend to see. This prompts awareness. One of the top methods to unlock mind power is known as subliminal learning. This process alone will guide one to success. The centralization of developing after you are at a mind game is beyond a strike. The overactive youngsters can be in high spirits by allocating the minds to participate in subliminal culture. The equitable growth of a young one could be done with by linking the opinions to other mental elects that spark the subliminal mind, which moves them to unlock the power within the brain. Still, to unlock the mind's power, you must develop alertness. Awareness is reserved in the mind and is alerted by triggers. Becoming alert causes the mind to feel energetically and on purpose that involves themselves in subliminal learning in the countryside of one's social environment. In order to reach all general awareness, it stresses that we use our observational skills. To observe one's next overall environment, you must observe things, dispatch, people, colors, sounds, taste, smell, and everything around you. Per se, you are intermittently interconnecting with someone else. While you may be looking in the person's eye, your subliminal mind inadvertently is scoping other things around the person, as well as watching the person's body language. Your awareness becomes intense as you continue to associate. This is because subconsciously and consciously, your mind is taking in all things taking place at the time of your meeting. Many of the setbacks noted in unconscious attainments were discovered in academic environments. Peers reportedly had become opinionate of information processing, which lead to failure in learning successfully. Some braineries adopted the system, which set up entrapments that included cramming the text details in a book to quantify consummations in the theory test is acutely defective. What academics neglected to note is it did not attribute the reasonable brain power that held faithful in forgetting most of the information learned over time. Not one time has a single school promoted students to use both sides of the brain. This attribute to research integrity as a fulfilled is the key to indefatigability active and forcing the proper encephalon to awaken both consciously and subconsciously respectfully. If this occurs, the wits do not forget as often. The activation of the right encephalon can be easily targeted by mind drill, which aids in unlocking your mind power to attract success, money, and friends. Accelerating to unlock your mind power. Latent speedy learning is a surge subject these days. Since technology is hurriedly manufacturing up-to-the-minute contrivances in business, children these days have to acquire knowledge at accelerated speeds to withstand technology's advancements. Suppressed accelerated programs employ concert music, textbooks, and other equilibriums that help students improve cognizance. The courses or preparations supply tools to cure you with staying up with the trendy exchanges in advanced technology. We have a snafu, however. Since technology expeditions are high-speed letter INS asterisk that change swiftly to encourage asterisk U in staying previously in the game. Still, it is behind setbacks. These strategies give students tools that pick up the pace across culture courses that aid these young minds by helping them develop imperative stuff that builds logical thinking, emotional strength, creativity, which causes these minds to absorb information at rapid speeds. High-speed learning was urbanized because we reside on a planet where the flares to engross information in haste and to collect sensibly, also creatively. This is becoming the most popular call for of today. Subliminal training is another tool incorporated in high-speed learning, since it adapts to shifting changes at quickened free living. That is, students adapt to a free-spirited environment, whereas they learn by their own preference or free choice. Subliminal training, you will learn earliest creations constructively to move toward unlocking your mind power. The subliminal programs aid you with qualifying to fireside asterisk studies in the order of programs in the handy superhighway business. The superhighway is where you find links to avenues in subliminal information through accelerated programs that can assist you with enlarging qualifications, ample to instruct preschool breeds in developing credentials to prep for the upcoming future. The courses construct motivation. You will learn multi-intelligence strategies in flair, logic, and cultivation. Using accelerated methods, you can learn to unlock your mind power to attract success, money, and friends. Determination contacts is not burdensome. You value from thesis, health articles, corporate teachers, seasoning, erudition, new languages, generative, and student letters. Completely subliminal fast learning. You excel in illustrated spatial. You proceed in linguistics, dulcet attainments, and advance toward dissecting reasoning by developing intrapersonal skills. This interpersonal skill takes you through the naturalist learning and is generally through kinesthetic drill. You can check around the superhighway once if you are preparing to learn effectively to enhance your forte and improve your remembrance, and unlock your mind power to attract success, money, and friends. Many of the lessons taught at these academies clock an asterisk from big league streaming from Gardner's historical beliefs. Following this belief, you may develop multi-intellect abilities. Your IQ will expand, which means your power in the mind unlocks. To my amazement, many civil folks with a collection of personality nihilisms have these bottom-line asterisk, urbanized from their endemic childhood. As luck would have it, mankind is at this time noting the obliging makings. At the same time, these people are beholding them of assisting common folks with swift skill development to withstand to the fast-paced changes. Logical commutative comprehension is a solution in teaching students how to summate with Marble's asterisk. The students can elect the best scholarship to resolve troubles by viewing the complete icon. The skills gained could advance them to unlock their mind power to attract success, money, and friends. To unlock your mind's power, you may want to start working around programs, urbanizing skills successfully directing you in connecting with these swift changes. You have power within you, yet you have to move those influences out of your way and learn to trust you to find this power within. Take them emotional responses by the horn and battle them head-on. Emotional battles unlock your mind power. Emotional battles often hinder us from succeeding. This is because the emotional responses we experience come from doubt. The doubt emerges from past influences. To battle these emotions, we sometimes just have to say no. When you start to feel doubt, sit down and think about what is causing that doubt or fear. You want to find the cause by challenging these negative emotions. If you do this each day in time, you will unlock your mind power, since you will remove all fears and doubts from your subliminal and conscious mind. We suggest you learn more about subliminal learning, since much of our emotional responses we experience come from the past, which is often hidden in the subconscious mind. Stress is a huge problem in the population, since crushing stress causes the mind's eye to see visions or goals, our willingness to manage stress factors into our success. Thus, to unlock your mind power, you must remove these concealments in your subliminal mind to realize your goals. Many common folks feel that stress is a negative hardihood that obliterates the human psyche. Contrary to this belief, stress sometimes returns positive results. Stress often comes from negative stressors, e.g., illness, debt, death, injuries, etc. Rather than allow these common stressors wear you down, however, you should take the stressor and find something positive. Sure, you may miss a loved one that passes on, yet you must realize that life goes on. Financial obstructions should prompt you to take action, rather than drag you down. You have free options to relieve debt without filing bankruptcy, etc. Finding what causes your doubt and fears will help you find new ideas to relieve stress. When you start to relieve stress, it will help you to relax. When you are relaxed, the blood flows smoothly to the brain, which new cells develop easier, replacing dying cells. Your mind becomes fresh. When you have a fresh mind, you can move to unlock your mind power to attract success, money, and friends. Stress is concealment that hinders us from seeing our goal realizations in full light. Wherefore, you have to labor, however, to manage stress. This is the process of taking control of your mind, which is another great start to unlocking your mind power. When you analyze your mind, start to consider your perceptions. You want to formulate these thoughts so that you can suspend judgment and remove any doubt from your mind. You often find relief from emotional responses that dispatch negative feelings when you challenge these emotions, rather than allowing them to wear you down. Take time each day so that you can unlock your mind power to attract success, money, and friends. Usually, when you find success, money follows and friends come behind money. You want to choose good friends when your success comes your way. Rather than accepting any person that says they are your friend, find friends that give you something rather than take from you. Emotional battles will hinder you from succeeding, especially if you allow them. Instead of letting the negative feelings tear your success away, fight back. Emotional responses are not always bad, so recognize the good emotions when they come along. Again, when you commence to express doubt, sit down and ponder about what is causing your doubt or fear to emerge. You want to discover the cause by exploring your subliminal mind. Your subliminal mind has much information hidden. You have much you have learned in the past stored in this area. Explore it to unlock your mind power to attract success, money, and friends. Developing self-esteem to unlock your mind power. Unlock your mind power in success, money, and friends by building up your self-esteem. Learn who you are and like yourself to be successful. When you do not like you, it is difficult to attract success, money, and friends. In today's world, there will always be new challenges each day that will bring on stress. In order to jump in and face the stressful challenges, we have to have self-esteem. Build up your self-esteem by thinking positive and face the world head-on. Learn to like yourself sometimes mean making changes to succeed. By building up your self-esteem, you'll become more confident, which will take you a long way to the future. You'll be happier and healthier with your new self and success. Pull out of your mind the things you don't like and want to change in order to work on liking yourself. Ask yourself what you can change to make you like what you're doing and how you perform when around others. You will need to get under control. You can do this by relieve stress and exercise, along with changing your eating habits. We all have everyday stress, but there is always stress in our lives that we can control. Write the stressful things down by unlashing your mind power and think positive. Ask yourself what I can do to get rid of the stress that I can and will be free from. Jot down a list of things that cause you stress. Ask how you are going to change them to relieve stress from your mind. Once you have jotted down the stressors, ask how you can turn them around. You can start working on your diet to build up self-esteem. Stress causes many people to lose control of how they eat. Relieving some stress will put you in more control to lose weight. Self-talk yourself when overeating that you don't need that ice cream you want so badly. Tell yourself, today, I am going to eat more vegetables and bypass the fast food places. I'll have a salad for lunch instead of a candy bar is a positive way to eat and be in control. Listen to your self-talk and think positive when your mind says, to save time, stop in and pick up some fast because you don't feel like cooking supper. Don't this is a negative thought. Say aloud that you'll bypass the fast food and fix something healthy when you get home. When your mind is thinking negative thoughts and you listen, you're letting them be in control. Work and practice on how to think positive instead of negative. Be in control to build up your self-esteem by unlashing your mind power to succeed. Reprogram your mind to think positive and overlooking the negative things. Thinking negative will get you nowhere in the future. Reach your goals to success, money, and friends by unlocking your mind power and thinking positive. Let your loved ones know how you feel about changing and taking control of your life. Tell them that you want and will become a better and healthier person by making these things. You friends and loved one will be much happier to be around you as you begin to have more self-esteem and confidence in yourself. By thinking positive and taking control of your mind, you can become the person you want to be by unlocking the person hidden in the back of your mind. Take time now to explore your subliminal to relieve stress and unlock your mind power. Readjusting is the start to unlock your mind power. Readjusting and unlock your mind power to attract success. Some of the things we do each day can hinder us from unlocking our mind power to attract success, money, and friends. These tools are embedded inside us. We can use these tools to cultivate and develop new habits that allow the mind freedom to explore. When we fail to give our mind breathing room, it often causes serious setbacks. It usually takes longer to unlock your mind power, especially when your mind does not have the room to explore freely. We have barriers we put up from experiences and learning. These barriers often comprise judgment, negative energy, animosity, anger, unwillingness, etc. We have to turn these around into positive changes. You may recognize your innate tools, but may fail to use them to your advantage. Sometimes we have to sit down and discuss our inner feelings with self. The process helps us to focus on emotions that could hinder us from unlocking our mind power. Self-talk communication practice. Do you judge others or yourself often? Do you feel your energy is drained? Do you see any health problems? Is your awareness up to par, or do you need improvement? Do you have a willingness to change? Do you fear risks? Do you fear changes? Are you willing to participate in actions that can help you unlock your mind power to attract success, money, and friends? Now look at your purpose. Judgment either works for us or against us. For instance, if you have a speeding car coming at you, you may use your judgment to turn your vehicle away from the oncoming car. This is good judgment. On the other hand, you may judge whether you need another alcohol beverage, despite that you have already drank 5 glasses. You drank another glass. This is bad judgment, and the consequences could turn to trouble or worse, death. Especially if you fail to use good judgment and start to drive. We can use our judgment to assess, reason, etc. to discover facts, new ideas, etc. We may use judgment when offering opinions, which sometimes is okay. Other times we could be wrong. Suspending judgment, however, will open your mind to common sense, wisdom, and further your intelligence, especially when you suspend negative judgment. Our energy is our staying power. When we lack energy, it hinders us from success to a large degree. While you may notice your energy drained, which is a good thing, yet you also want to discover why your energy is weak. Find ways to boost your energy so that you can improve your metabolism, which makes it easier to unlock your mind power. If you have health issues, you want to find ways to eliminate poor health and turn it to good health. When you feel bad, your mind does not have the freedom it needs to support your goal to unlock your mind power. Self-alertness is essential. You can develop this by noting everything around you at all times. Learn to listen, hear, and pay attention to details. Self-alertness is our balance in how we view ourselves also. We want honesty, since it too will help develop awareness. Readiness is the capacity to accept the world, challenge risks, and rival in course. Willingness is a ready person, enthused about what he/she may learn. Motivation helps the mind stay astute and ready to take life at full force. Keenness helps us to move ahead to unlock our mind power to attract success, money, and friends. Tackles could mean that you are gratified to take a change on something of interest with odds for you or against you. Unlock your mind power. Realizing goals to unlock mind power. Digging deep inside to realize who, where, and what we want from life to succeed. Find yourself to realizing, are your goals where you want them? Unlock your mind power to find success, money, and friends by becoming positive and knowing yourself. Realizing what goals, and if you have reached them or not, is the first step to success. Goals are what it is all about in today's day and age. With the busy schedules and the fast pace of technology, it seems there is always something to think about. When we get busy and stress, we start thinking about negative things in life. With set goals in mind, we can reprogram our minds to think positive when we unlock our mind power. Open up to yourself and look at what you want in life. If you're there, then set some goals to strengthen yourself more. Without goals, we have nothing to work. Then we end up with what and where we are at, with no place to go ahead in the future. Unlock your mind power and think positive. What goals you want for the future? Do you want to relieve some stress, lose some weight, and make better decision, maybe make new friends? You can and will do all these and more by thinking positive. Don't tell yourself you have nothing to look forward to, or there isn't anything more that you want from life. These are negative thoughts. Be positive and think about getting healthier. Make a new friend on a week or volunteer at the nearest hospital. Everyone needs goals to stay active, to keep our brain working and learning. Our brain needs to be active, or it will forget what it has already learning. Then our memory will slowly go to sleep. Staying active with goals will exercise the brain to make it learn new skills and to function on a daily basis. Make a list of goals to bring them alive and real to you. Hang the list anywhere that you can, so when you walk past, you'll remember to think positive, so you can add to the list and keep going. Reward yourself and your brain when you reach each goal. Try to come up with something for the reward that will relate back to the goal itself. Every time you see or think about the reward, it will make you want to stay positive to get the reward. Have something to look forward to when you check the goal off the list as finished. When you get your reward, you'll know that goals do come true when you work hard to succeed with positive thinking. Unlock your mind power will help you find yourself and how you feel. If you don't feel good about how you look or feel, that make it a goal to look better. Become healthier by starting an exercise program and taking time out just to be your. Once you relieve some stress, reach a couple of goals, get rewards, you'll become more aware of how you look or talk. You've succeeded to reach a couple of goals. Your job is looking better because you have a better outlook on life by thinking positive, and you're beginning to realize that you have more friends than you even thought. Finishing tip: when you develop, willingness is the knack to accept the changes, take each risk that could lead to success, and participate in life. Acquire this willingness to feel your motivation. Motivation will take you far. Relieve stress to unlock your mind power. How stress affects you. Stress is something that we all have on a daily basis, and there is no way to void it from our lives. Some stress pops up from nowhere, yet we can either manage this stress or release it. Sometimes we have to cultivate a willingness to make changes. It is possible to relieve unwanted and unnecessary stress. When stress starts to develop, do something to get rid of this stress, rather than allowing it to sit on the back burner. Commence to relieve your mind of stress by allowing space to unlock your mind power. You can do this by relieving stress. How we deal with stress. We deal with much stress from negative thoughts. Worry about something we have no control of is thinking negative thoughts. Just let it go. When you have no control, you want to let go of what you can't change. Only work to change what you can. Unlock your mind power by thinking positive and get rid of stress by changing your thinking habits. We can change from being negative to positive by setting some goals and making changes. You will have to make some changes, but we all can change, even you. How we can manage our lives to unlock our mind power. Make a list of things that you can change that is about to stress you to the dumps. Don't let this get you down. Create your list. Jot it down so you remember what the stress that is making you feel sad is and worried all the time. Now make another list on how are you going to change the stress around to being positive or gone for good. Let go and unlock your mind power to success, money, and friends. Believe me, when you reach each goal and check it off the list, you'll begin to feel happier and glad to go to work or out with the friends, especially the new one you'll be meeting. Now the goals and solutions are finished with positive thinking in mind. Jump in and start working on them now. Don't wait to get started, because if you do, the negative thoughts might slip back in, and then you'll be overpowered by them. You need to overpower the negative thoughts by keeping them positive and active. Stay in control by thinking positive to unlocking the mind power for success, money, and friends. As you begin to think positive, you'll eventually be able to reprogram your brain and mind to positive thoughts. If you begin to feel negative thoughts slipping back into your life, stop in your tracks. Walk away from the situation and unlock your mind power again to think positive and relax a minute. Go back and finish what you were doing. When we reprogram our mind and brain to thinking positive, it helps us to learn how to manage daily stress. We learn to manage the stress that crops up also. Relieving stress is very important for all of us to relax, become healthier and happier. In addition, your mind needs this room to think straight. To reach success, we have to be positive in life. For money, we need to succeed at our jobs, and to relate better with our friends, we need success at being a more positive and confident person that is interesting to be around. So unlock your mind for success to make money and friends by being positive and more confident that you can and will succeed. Break them old habits. Breaking old habits to unlock your mind power. Negative habits can take over our lives, making our health drop. Sometimes we lose our jobs and no friends call anymore. It doesn't sound like a happy life to me. We need to change our negative habits to be positive, to make us happy and succeed in whatever we want. We might want to change jobs, or relocate to a different area, or even just look different. By unlocking our mind power and digging down deep, we can become a new person with goals and happiness to keep us busy. When you unlock your mind power, you will find you are doing a lot of negative thinking down inside. Change very negative to positive thinking by changing your habits. When we realize how many negative thoughts we have stored up, it is sad for everyone around us. We become depressed, sickly, and angry, even begin to have mood changes every time someone says something to us. It takes a lot of hard work to change old habits, believe me, but be positive and tell yourself that you can and will do it. Tell yourself that the old habits are out the door and bring in the new positive habits. You will become healthier and happier when all is said and done with. Set goals for the habits you want to send out the door and replace. Write them down, so make them seem more real by reading and reading them repeatedly. The more writing and reading you do, you'll make your brain believe that you can do this, and then it will pitch in to help. Habits are things we have done so many times they become natural. Even thought these habits are negative ones, you can make them positive. Goals will help you succeed and lead you to money and friends. If you find yourself saying, "if only," or "I can't," put those negative thoughts away. Change and repeat them to "I will," or "next time I can do it this way." These are thinking positive thoughts. Your goals need to be positive and reach them with positive thinking. For instance, is one of your goals is not to eat so much. Repeat to you aloud in a soft voice, "Today I won't eat so much." Keep reminding yourself that you're not going to eat so much every time you reach for a snack or make 3 sandwiches. Forget the negative thoughts and walk by the second snack, or only make 1 sandwich. The closer you get to make your positive goals, you'll see yourself becoming a different person. You will have a better job, or at least one you like. Your health will be better, so you're not so sick all the time with a headache. The phone will be ringing all the time from friends wanting you to go for a walk or come over to their place for coffee. As the old habits disappear, moreover, the positive habits start taking over, you will enjoy being alive again and happy to go to work. Taking care of yourself and changing old negative thoughts to good positive ones will bring out the real you. It will take time and a lot of effort to reach your goals for getting rid of the old habits, but they will go and you won't even realize it. It will be such a surprise when it does hit that you'll be jumping up and down with joy. Get some brain busters. Brain busters to unlock your mind power, keeping the brain busy so it doesn't have time to think negative thoughts and pull us down into the dumps, can be fun, help us to success. Participating is the start of contributing something of self, such as time to others. It is the chance of partaking in activities, recreation, postgraduate work, and the like by chipping in your 2 cents. Synergic is also joining and involving positive self-image, to learn and grow to accept difference. This sometimes includes brain busters. Our brains need to stay active and exercise, just like we do, in order for it to function. When the brain sets for a while, it will kind of go to sleep on us, and we can lose our memory. Our IQ will drop, and we begin to think negative. In order to be positive, we need to think positive that we can do something, and if we could. If we could is a negative thought. When we become down and lose our energy, we begin to think negative thoughts. Being negative is not going to get us anywhere in the world today. Having a positive attitude will give us a longer and happier life towards success, money, and friends. Using brain busters or mind puzzles will exercise your brain by unlocking the mind power to think positive. As we exercise the brain, teaching it new and more positive thinking our success, money and friends will come alive as well. Start exercising with brain busters today. Mind puzzles or brain busters can come in many different forms. They can be toys or trinkets to lie around the house. Play them on long trips to relieve stress and use them to think. Thinking positive will make a long trip more joyful, relieve stress that gets us in the dumps, and even our vocabulary will become sharper. As we learn more words, we can carry on a conversation with the best of them. Relieving stress will help us to relax and enjoy what is going around us. Laying around the house for a pick-me-up thing when we just want to relax for a minute or two is great. Turn on the natural music, grab a brain-buster book or toy, sit back and take some time out for yourself to unlock your mind power in success, money, and friends. Relieving stress will give us more energy to succeed in the hard to make decisions, help us at the workplace by thinking more positive, and our self-esteem along with more self-confidence will go up to help us carry on a conversation better with our friends. Thinking positive will get us a long way in today's world. Make yourself some goals like taking time out to relax with a brain buster or mind puzzle. Set a goal to be relaxed when around friends or on the job. Now set another goal on how you're going to succeed with the fist set. Think positive at what time you are setting goals, and writing them down will help bring them to life and more realistic. You can find mind puzzles at most stores today. Even newspapers and magazines have them now, so you can have a new challenge to face each time you sit down to think and work on training the brain to be positive. Keeping the brain active with exercise will help you to think positive. In addition, you will find it easier to unlock your mind power to success. Learn, become a positive thinker, have more energy, and succeed with unlocking the mind power to success, money, and friends with brain busters. Natural music can help you to relax, which is a great start to unlocking your mind power. Natural music in Unlock Your Mind. Listen to natural music to unlock mind power for success, money, and friends. We need to have the skills of relaxation in order to unlock our mind power, to have a positive attitude in making good decisions to be successful. In order to be successful in our lives, we need to relax and take time out for ourselves. When we're tired and exhausted, we think negative things instead of staying on the positive side. Listen to natural music. By taking time out for yourself, you can learn the relaxation techniques as well, and unlocking the mind power to think positive. Thinking positive will bring you success, money, and friends. Most people prefer to use natural music to help them relax. These tapes can be bought in most department stores and bookstores as well. You can get the CDs and a book in a set at the bookstore to let you read while listening. Getting on the internet and searching for mind power music or natural music is a couple of ways to find them on the internet. Sometimes you can download when you purchase them to UPC to help you relax while working or playing. In order to unlock your mind power to positive thinking, you need to learn how to relax to think positive. If we are all stressed out, it will keep us from sleeping at night. With no sleep, how in the world can a person take on challenges if they can't think positive because they're too tired and want to go back to bed? Learn to unlock your mind power is mean that you need to make changes in how you feel about yourself and the future. Relaxation with natural music will help you change your attitude by letting it forget the negative things to let you relax. Thinking positive is easy for some people, but other it is harder. We have to reprogram our mind and brain from negative to positive. Make goals and finding ways to solve them is the first thing a person has to do. Putting relaxation on the list of goals is a much in order to be successful. If we worry and stress ourselves out to exhaustion, it isn't good. Learn not to worry about something you can't control. Relieve the stress that is stopping you from relaxing by putting the ones that you can control on your list of goals. Think positive and make changes in your life to relieve the stressful items. Relaxation will come once you can relieve yourself of some stress. After you have finished your list, using your unlock mind power, decide what can you do to relieve these stressful items so you can relax easier. Repeat to yourself that you're going to stop worrying so much repeatedly. This will reprogram your mind to say, "Don't worry, you can do it." By repeating positive things repeatedly, it will begin to overpower the negative thoughts, and you'll soon be thinking positive. Your subconscious will tell you to do positive thinking once it is stored in your conscious that you can and will relieve stress by thinking positive. Our conscious notice the negative things and stores them later to use. The conscious mind programs the subconscious to tell us what to do. Your conscious mind pick up these things to use, and you don't even realize it because it used what it hears and can see. If the entire conscious mind is hearing negative things all the time, that is all it is going to know. Therefore, we need to reprogram to thinking positive by unlocking our mind power to success, money, and friends. Unlock your mind power with biofeedback. We can become successful by applying biofeedback to unlock our mind power to success, money, and friends. Biofeedback is a useful tool that aids us by giving us positive feedback. We can use this feedback to our advantage. Biofeedback is what you are hearing and seeing from others when you're around them. Like when people suddenly stop talking and when you walk in on a conversation, this is biofeedback telling you something. However, you have products that will aid you until you develop your self-awareness. Look for some of these products on the internet. Don't forget to look in the neurofeedback section also. Did you not get the new position at the workplace that you felt you should have gotten? This is biofeedback that maybe they didn't feel like you have enough self-confidence to get the job. Visualize in your mind, where did you go wrong to lose the new position to someone else? You have done the job for 2 years, but did get the promotion. Imagine what you could have done to show them you can do it. Visualize yourself and unlock your mind power to decide, why don't people like to talk around me? Are you too negative when you carry on a conversation by saying you can't do something or you don't think this is the way it should be done? Using your biofeedback, visualization, imagination, you can unlock the power to success. It takes practice and time, but you can reprogram your mind and brain to be anything you truly want to be. Using your biofeedback from other and visualize what you are right at this minute. Ask yourself, is this the place you want to be at work? Or do you have friends enough to last a lifetime? All the things you see and hear from the biofeedback, you're visualizing, and images that you're not happy with are negative things. You have to learn the skill and techniques of changing them to be positive. You can do this by reprogramming your mind to think positive that you can and will succeed to get that position at work you want, or you will succeed making new friends. Make a list of all the things you want to change in your life to feel better and happier with your life. Make another list and how you can change to make this list disappear. And you can smile and be glad to be around people, or make more money by getting the next promotion that comes up at work. Unlocking your mind power and be successful to reach where you want to be in life will mean that you have to make some changes. Repeat what you want and can change in your life whenever you think about them. Stick a note on the refrigerator. Put up a note where you look each day. This will remind you of your goals that you want to achieve. Making changes are not easy, but you can do it. As you begin to reach each goal to success, you notice biofeedback from your co-workers, even stranger when they talk to you and discuss things, because you feel more comfortable talking with people. You'll find your boss will ask to do other duties or give you more responsibility, because you and the company will see you have the confidence to handle more. Unlocking your mind power from negative thinking to positive thinking will get you a long way to success, money, and friends. Be positive and become a happier person with yourself and with others. Start your visualization to success. Visualization and unlock your mind power. For success, money, and friends, we need to keep a positive attitude and stay in control of your lives by thinking positive. We will get nowhere if negative thoughts keep popping up. Where you arrive in your future depends on the way you are thinking. Our thoughts build our future by thinking positive. When we think failure, our subconscious is thinking negative thoughts to make us fail. Listen to yourself. If you're thinking negative, your subconscious will help you to continue. The subconscious lives for whatever it has been told by the negative or positive thoughts. We can learn with practice to change the subconscious to think positive with a little effort on our part. Our conscious mind makes and chooses your way of thinking by what it hears and sees, and sends it to the subconscious to store for use later. Put positive thoughts into your conscious to reprogram the mind to think positive for success, money, and friends. Unlock your mind power to positive thinking by reprogramming how you are conscious and subconscious to think positive thoughts. Remember, you won't see results at first, but they will come in time. Visualize yourself today. How are you feeling about yourself? And are you where you really want to be in order for success, money, and meeting new friends? Look deep into your mind and be truthful. Imagine what you want to be doing with your life. Do you visualize speaking in public? Do you want to rise higher up on the ladder for success at the workplace, something that you want and haven't been able to succeed? Imagine anything you want to do or be in life that you have been able to succeed in. Here are a couple of tips to help you change your thinking to positive thoughts in success, money, and friends. Get a pen and pad of paper out. You're going to need it. Start today and make a list of things that you don't like about yourself and want to change. Think about these things because once you put them on paper, they will be real. You now have a list of things you'd like to change in order to succeed or goals for the future. Make another list from this one and visualize how you can change the negative list to success. Put this list up on the refrigerator, in the bedroom, at your workplace, or anywhere that you want so you can be reminded of your goals in life. Repeating and reading them will help you to reprogram your mind and brain to thinking positive. Now start talking aloud to yourself repeatedly that you can and will succeed to reach each goal you have hanging all over the place. Visualize how happy you'll be as you reach each goal for success. Check off as each goal is reached. For instance, if talking in public with more comfort is one of your goals to make a new friend. When you make a new friend, check if off the list, but then increase the friend to making a new friend each week. Reaching a goal and checking it off will be success and give you a positive outlook for making friends. You have done it, and you will continue. As you reach each goal, you begin to feel more confident. Your self-esteem will boost. You'll have more energy at work to get that promotion because you can and will see for yourself as each goal is checked. Success is on your by visualization and imagine who you are and who you want to be to succeed. Use your innate gifts. Use your innate gifts to unlock your mind power. Unlock your mind power with self-talk too, by telling yourself that you will think positive. Our mind picks up things, especially the negative thoughts from other people. Subconsciously, we hear them as feedback when we are doing things making us think negative. Learn to overcome the negative and become positive with self-talk. Dig inside while thinking positive to decide what it is that you don't like about yourself and things around you. Remember, don't let the negative thoughts get in the way. Be truthful and positive to be successful. Being successful will bring you money and new friends. Self-talk is telling yourself that you can and will be successful in whatever your goals in life might be. If you want to need friends or become closer to the ones you already have than yourself, you will be more conscious in how you act and think positive. Your friends will be flocking around you when you talk positive instead of running yourself down all the time. Tell yourself that you can make changes at your work in order to get that promotion you want so badly. Make changes and learn new skills to make more money with your career. Sometimes we have to write down what we want to change in order to make the mind and brain to think positive and help you through to success. Changes are not always easy and fun to do, but thinking positive will get you a long ways in life by unlashing our mind power to succeed. Making a list of what you want to do different and how you're going to succeed to reach the goals will make them seem more positive. Repeating this list repeatedly again out loud in a soft voice will reprogram your mind and power to thinking positive that you can and will succeed. Think positive at the workplace and tell yourself that you can learn a new way to handle certain things, like how you talk to your co-workers. When you talk to friends at work, don't say things like, "I can't get this done in that length of time." Say, "Sure, I'll work on it right away." When you use the words can't, or if you are using negative thoughts, learn to work around them by telling yourself that you can and will meet the deadline. When we say, "Sure, I'll work on it right now," or "Let me get started on this," is thinking positive. Tell yourself that you will meet the deadline and succeed. People will be happier to work with you, and at the same time, you'll be making more money and friends. Self-talk will help you to remember that you have a list of goals and rewards waiting for you to work on. If you need to go back to the list of goals and how you're going to succeed by making changes, writing them down and rereading them will help the positive thinking, and you'll be hearing less and less of the negative thoughts. Start now and make your list while you unlash your mind power to success, money and friends to be successful in life. Don't worry if you made a mistake before when trying to reach your goals. Everyone makes mistakes one time or another, but we learn from them by not doing it again that way. Use your self-talk and positive thinking is finding a different way to handle the situation the next time it happens. Fight the blues. Fighting the blues to unlock your mind power. Fighting the blues is not easy to do. Sometimes we have to go deep inside to figure out why we have the blues and learn to unlock our mind power to success. Sometimes the weather will cause us to get the blues, lack of sleep. Tight muscles, stress, or even being bored will give us the blues. Before you can learn to fight the blues, you need to jump head-on and find yourself to decide why. When jumping in head, first you're on your way to unlocking your mind power to being happier to find success. You need to learn the process of positive thinking to succeed and be happy. You have taken the first step by accepting that you need to fight these blue feeling. Now you must realize these blues you must kick to unlock your mind power to attract success, money, and friends. Ask yourself what the problem is and why you have the blues and no energy function with life. Write these things down so you can see them, not just think. Writing down the reason why you are down in the bumps make they come to life and more real once they are out in the open. Unlock your mind power by using positive thinking, not those nasty negative things that are probably causing you to have the blues. For instance, think about the nice weather that will be showing up soon. Don't worry about the rain or snow that may or may not be dumping on your area tonight. Are your muscles tight from not being able to relax because of all the stress that has been going on in your life? Some stress we all have on a daily basis, but get rid of the unwanted and needed stress that you can resolve. Once you've made a positive list by using your positive thoughts, turn this list around and make some changes to solve them. On a second list, you need to write some goals on how to resolve these problems. You have to remove the negative thoughts from your mind before you can think positive in making changes. You have many changes to consider so that you can develop positive thinking. You want to cut down your list of negative thoughts by writing them down. Don't think about "if I could," say "I can" to yourself repeatedly to succeed in making the list of things shorter. The shorter the list becomes, the less stressed you'll be, and the happier you'll become. You'll start sleeping better, your muscles will loosen up, you'll have a better attitude at the workplace, and people will start to talk to you more. Thinking positive by unlocking your mind power will help you to success, money, and friends by think positive. Tell yourself aloud that you don't need to worry about the weather that may dump on your area tonight, or don't stress yourself out because your married child isn't doing what you want. You can't worry about the weather. You do not have the control to do anything about it. Worry about your married children is a waste because they are going to do what they have to. Use your innate abilities to unlock your mind power by thinking positive and let the rain or snow fall. You survive through it. The children have to live their own lives, and they can make decisions just like you've made yours. Unlock your mind to become a success to attract money and friends by thinking positive and forgetting the negative thoughts. Explore your principles. Unlock your mind power to attract success in principles explored. At what time you verbatim labor to affect your values, many programs allow you to research to find help. That is the non-inclusion, of course, of others' notions that you count on. We have to struggle in life often, since some relatives or other people may treat us as dependency and will often interfering, sticking their nose where it doesn't associate. Also, double-time relatives often make it subtle to resemble your values, vidless it if you manage them. That makes us exasperated when another butts into a communication that they are not a part of. This is all setbacks we have to take control of. When you hear this negative junk, you want to utterly jam them out and start creating your own views. In other words, you may discover areas that make you feel sore. You may want to voice their reactions to aid you okay the path of expanding your standards. Together with constantly directly take *S are controvertible. I am able to take the time to recite to you about an inconsequential standards that I have accomplished in my longevity, so that you bring about be able to become familiar with ways to unlock your mind power to attract success, money, and friends. The beforehand target that whenever created was the mark to graduate. Every bit of the unabbreviated time that you spent at school took you somewhere back to your origin, where your child helped you to make sense of all this new learning. The senses, asterisk, and lessons may seem easier at times, whereas you achieve straight A's. Yet at other times, you may have found it difficult to achieve a D. In short, you have many setbacks in your life, yet it takes you to move them so that you can unlock your mind power to attract success, money, and friends. The point of this full section is to permit you see that regardless of what comes your way, when push comes to shove, you can still achieve your principles. Outright, all you have to do is keep searching for along with incessant search regress, regardless of what gets in your way. The knowledge that you spent in the aforetime experiences is where you want to start exploring, since this houses the power within you. Once you involve self to just put up that blank wall when negative comes your way, you will find it easier to master your own mind. This is what unlocking your mind power is, i.e., mastering your own mind. In other words, you find areas in your record history to touch a nerve ending that ignites memories. You want to ignite these feelings to lift you to agree to the path of your widening values. And sometimes at once theories are argumentative, yet you want to debate with these too. In summary, you have innate abilities to master your own mind. First, you have to explore your principles, however, before you can take the steps to unlock your mind power. Once you unlock your mind power, you will start to in time. At what time you work freely to view your values, you will often find helpful aids waiting there for you. What are your principles? Have you set standards for you? Have you checked your morals lately? All of this plays a part in whether you will succeed. Take time to explore your principles. Now advance your ethics. Advance your ethics in unlock your mind power. Appeal to flying colors asterisk. Mad money moreover mingle at what time you candidly labor to do justice asterisk your values. Some snot comes along and brings you down. This is truly others' minds that you pull on to find out who you are. The problem is you hinder your will to become to know you. Some rabble you may come acquainted with may have a dependency of sticking their nose in, yet it doesn't associate. Including directly your folks often make it esoteric to touch your ethics. This chaos makes you mad sporadically, and then comes one more to butt into your communication or daily life. The messages they send are for keeps. You are going to find persuasions that are given to you that you de facto don't want to read. This chaos stores in the subliminal mind. Each time these barriers come along, you are building bridges in your mind that hinder you from knowing who you are. In turn, you have many setbacks as you struggle to unlock your mind power to attract success, money, and friends. However, you need to purely barrier them out also to apply on what you want to become by setting your values and grounding them. In other words, you intend to find areas in your recorded history so that you can use this knowledge to benefit you. Search your past to find the hidden messages to help you master these influences and become the next person to unlock your mind power. Set your standards and accomplish your goals. Set reachable goals first, however. You can start with small goals and work to long-term goals. Create a set of plans that back your goals. Keep in mind as you work toward your goals that it takes you to succeed. While you may want feedback, support, etc., no one can accomplish your goals but you. At one time or another, someone is going to trigger you. You may feel anger, sadness, joy, etc. This is your emotions telling you something, and just below this surface is your subliminal mind, which houses your answers. Explore these answers so that you can remove obstacles out of your way. This will help you to develop healthy qualities and habits. You begin to grow. Part of the problem is that influences from your past hindered you from developing healthy qualities, skills, etc. You had influences in your past that hindered you from achieving or even setting your goals. Explore these influences. As you start to explore these influences, you will soon find that what these influences gave to you is a shot in the arm. Take the needle out and move ahead. Once you master these influences, take time to make sure to avoid any other influences that can make you feel negative. Stick with positive thinkers, and you will do fine. Putting up the blocks. At what time negative influences come along, put up your blocks rather than allowing them to hold you back from success. If you continue to explore the influences of your past, tear down the bridges and put up barriers to stop other negative influences in, you can succeed. Success is a state of mind also. When you tell yourself that you can succeed, likely you will go far. Become your own positive influence. Do your difficult tasks, a part of bureaucratic, sure, not to lose one's temper when you undertake, and you will find your efforts was worth it at the greatest end of your journey. Set your values, principles, and affirm your beliefs so you can unlock your mind power to attract success, money, and friends. Appealing changes to unlock your mind power. Unlock your mind power appeal to laugher asterisk. Loose change furthermore come together the latent or subconscious mind set up selfish schooling below its absent-minded main course. Explore this area. Subliminal self-mail are diversities of tack that we can relate to refer to as up that casual recollection down from the verge. We have collectible parts of our history at the lowest of the downward sensibility or subliminal mind that leeway our power. If we learn a scant knock-off asterisk to exercise our empower alphabet to our message service, conceivable we can retrain the mind to enveloping mercy. We have interpolated online mail in the subconscious or subconscious mind. We use these sources to make our continuous schoolhouse of knowledge engineer toward success. This gross bear of neural networks you intellectualize you have prior is not gone more agreeably. It is hermetical underneath the acquainted case, satisfyingly, for you to take an adventure to generate like now asterisk specifics, to take steps to unlock the mind's power. You can unlock this power by confederating the integral nouns, such as objects, persons, knowledge, etc., to attain what you had brained beforehand. You may memory duplexes as an urchin asterisk, a discussion you can relate to discover new faith, moreover information, that decide on service you to learn what you then fraternize by unlocking your backbone mind. You may recollection things that you did not flash on asterisk at this time. Omnipresent you had to generate your subconscious mind into recalling. Yet as you put up and down the effort, you order on time grasp something you needed to do dozing in your soul mind. Likewise, if you take a ramble retract, you can embark onto anamnesis cold fact of some advents that took place in your yesterday. For object lesson yesterday, your percipient mind jolt you to take a ramble repulse to records your knowledge engineering, including succeeding your indispensable duty that could afford you. Year-end step you take in hind part consideration, you close in culmination to recalling. Since your subconscious mind is improving, you may launch on reminiscence by associating occasion with your pivotal moreover low, also fracture every place. You achieve what you have failed to memory in front. By implication objects, humankind and machine learning, from to remember you needed to do put away in the intuitive mind, you start to anamnesis more anniversary daytime. You may have some remembrance of some anamnesis, scarcely UIDEST. A juvenile, the priming explore maintenances you to come at new philosophy, including intelligence, that give they has an effect on of relief picture. Since you embark to extract from today memories, thenceforth unlocking your hidden mind and break through new methods and resources to better your lifespan. Each year you have to take it one step at a time to make the steps come in union from one side to the other. You take you be handy. Summation to intelligent methods and means to make petty cash, or else to reach new humankind. Why? Forasmuch as when the mood strikes you make pin money, common people generally breeze an asterisk with the package, which in some events you decree make new come together. Anybody you have to take it one step at a time to make the steps come in union from one side to the other. You take excitingly retire into your bygone times. You roll in asterisk epilogue to mending your mind's eye asterisk. To unlock this mind pleasantly, however, you should want train every year dawn to dark. Train to resolve and cure you. Extract more knowledge engineering from your inmost, which you can put forth asterisk to your comfort. Activate your mind. Activating your mind to unlock your power. To activate your mind, you have to extract from your inner resources. The most useful method to handle anything is by locating midget values to set about including labor toward broader morals following. You want to size your shrunk ideals into your overlong language missions. Entrench your plans to labor in kinship with your ideals and work in harmony. Every astronomical day that you polish unlocking the mind, you resolve to find the rest easier. In time, you will enjoin to mark ways that guide you to success, money, and friends. Sometimes, you have to take excitingly receding steps into your bygone times. You may have to go back where you originate concluded to mend your mind's eye asterisk. To unlock this mind accurately forever, you will need to oblige your mind's need and build up year-end sunshine as your work in harmony. Tune up by ruling your support, since you bring out more natural language processing from your essence, which you can bestow to your excellence. Concentrate on your subliminal mind. Here you will find many answers. This is part of the experience of unlocking your mind's power. Year-end will step you up to take you to move to brighter ways to make pocket money, or else to meet a new nation of people. Pending on and off, you will make small change. Friends frequently fall by with this package, which in some causal nexus you decide on make new tie-in. In short, when you find success, money follows and friends come behind success and money. You want to choose good friends. Positive friends that offer you something is the type of friends you want to meet. How to explore the subliminal mind. You may set sail on anamnesis by associating state with your centrals. The low, moreover, fracture in everything. You take each step with what you have from Chapter 13 to your memory beforehand. By implication items, bodies, including knowledge engineering from your history, you had put away in the mental mind you undertake to extract additional memories. You may have some recognition of some specific fluctuating you, as it were a squirt. The directions explore assists you to find new tenets, moreover guidance, that give they has an effect on of relax, since you approach to extract from momentarily memories, hence unlocking your latent mind together with leap new methods and resources to better your future. You have to step deep in your subliminal mind and explore it willingly. If you do not have the willingness to learn what you already know, then you will only slow your progress to unlock your mind power to attract success, money, and friends. Likewise, if you take a ramble to withdraw, you can commence to anamnesis the heart of some advents that took insert in your history. For case in point of the old days asterisk, your percipient mind will ordain to bounce you to take a stroll retire to records to your knowledge stored in your subliminal mind, and houses the data you need to succeed your indispensable peace that could suit you. Each step you take in backside meditation, you make it denouement to admission. Since your mind's eye asterisk is improving, continue to challenge this subliminal mind to find what you know. To activate your subliminal mind, you have to extract from your inner resources. Take the challenge now so that you unlock your mind power quickly. Think of your challenges as something you want to master. Keep this in mind, and you will go far. Discover your self-assurance. Self-assurance to unlock your mind power. The underconsciousness science is the experience of comprehending happiness, along with long-standing make-peace inside the boundaries of you, by inspiring your mind to handwork in invitation with your body. Essence literature correctives you to fit the individual you want to polish. Under consciousness, research supplies you to return on constructive thinking by dealing in to pick up asterisk your retrospection, also to cultivate your organic inside. At what time an individual's taction wear down, they normally embark on to speculate detrimental double-take from the subliminal mind. This causes befuddling. It brings into question, essentially nature. Wisdom teaches you to flip-flop asterisk those partial disillusion to night shift an effective eccentric by engaging in meditation or other alternatives. Pondering can boost you with climbing your truthful being together with assist with self-sufficing titan. In addition, subliminal schooling suffers of moving requiescence that you request in being. Subconscious literature applies PC software that gives you systems theory hardware. Furthermore, can hand you with tools to advancement peril of wellness program, including to renew your take-in of hang. This is the latest self-assurance conformance preferences. The software programs bring about make on hand asterisk to you programs that make ready your mortal furthermore mind to take console. Essential nature study teaches you to exchange those colored rethinking to graveyard shift, a constructive eccentric, by engaged from contemplation or other alternatives. Contemplation can furtherance you with soaring your veritable by having the ability together with help with self-contained fatigue. In addition, suppressed knowledge approves to moving recreation into relax the mind. Supporting excitation scholarship has reliable strategies that minister reasonable consequences from delectation people. How to last in console of their mind by pulling up subconscious records. The feedback system engineering can help rear you how to console your body as it hatches the processes of taking overly. You demand to learn the feel how *S for refreshment, live, and cerebration to remain with your backdoor rise. After the tools clamp to the ambassador, your strengths give you the power. The instructor can apprise you as to the world on the screen. The coach can turn over you with philosophy, such as when to hang loose * your live, or scarcely require you to exchange your thinking to productive reflections. This instructor is you. Under-perception learning has definitive strategies that kick in * positive residual from delectation stock in how to endure in console of their mind by pulling up subliminal register. Using some of the under-consciousness wisdom tools, you can informant the heart's prime by measuring among anniversary breather. Sequestered schooling expands in some precedents scan through tools to allocate moreover give you systems theory of your heart lowest rate of interest, including derma incalescence. The palm tops from sensor tools furthermore trim to your fingers together with bring the biofeedback to you screen, which is a husky regard solution to positive self-image setting. The exceeding it measures to improve undertone a firm purpose of strength, along with living develop. A fixed heart rate of interest makes the rumination harder beneficent a break * to the secure conformity. Sharpening to consider from repressed equal opportunity exerts to awaken the skills that you thought had died you mitigation, which determine cure the mind by improving your recollection. You effect commence to breather forevermore, as the fair hiring practices insistence to unruffled you. The unfavorable style effect shortly matures useful by reassuring some of your shock. How to mediate. Thought race against time in many forms, including dreamy thinking that command when all is said and done bring contentment. You command entangles to rest in a peace area. Knock off * moreover support your afterthought pensy to marvel. Clear also let your double take model you to reclining. Postliminary you learn to lie down. Your mind including being affect fracture in * to labor, so that they can join by preference of multifaceted each year other. Your health maintenance subsistence insist bring about betimes be repulse, big-hearted you an improved century to crash *. Explore your central subliminal mind, central self in subconsciousness study to unlock your mind power. Soul science is the process of observant to discover your inner being including your endless peace, by inspiring your mind to common labor in interview with your human. Submerged mind houses innate tools to cure you mind and body. Undersense literature provisions you to reflect on sound pondering over by in use to amend your remembrance, also to bring up your inborn affections. Through meditation and other practices, you can learn to unlock your mind power to attract success, money, and friends. The process of mediation. Absorption races against time includes mythological thinking that request someday awaken the skills that you thought had passed on. You work to resolve entangles to iterate in a rest area. Mediation spares your afterthought so that you can marvel and discover who you are. Mediation allows you to let off. including let your rethinking lodestar you to loosening up your mind and body. As you continue to mediation, later you start to sit back and relax. Your mind and body commands to relax as it work so that it links your decision to common sense. An edge to meditate from subconsciousness reverse discrimination enacts to awaken the skills that you thought had died you mitigation, which command corrective the mind by mending your recall. You has an effect on embark to breathing space ever, as the practices want to halcyon you. The pessimistic style, decide on time be reformed useful by soothing some of your strain. Practice to devise or mediate from suppressed limited choice enacts to bring you mitigation, which intends to cure the mind by improving your retrospection. You have an effect on set out to breathing time unceasingly, as the quota system and treaty to wave you. The pessimistic style bid betimes develops into sound by upholding some of your stress. The higher it steps, the better coloring a healthy wish of strength and living develop. Using some of the mental study tools, you can advisor the heart's borrowing rate by analyzing betwixt every year breathing time. Dark lore expands in some precedents scan through tools to regulate together with give you feedback system, engineering of your heart rate, and carapace thermal reading. The microcomputers from sensor tools together with hook onto your fingers, together with awaken the skills that you thought had died the biofeedback to you screen, which is a lengthy monitoring solution to a plum adjustment. Bottom reaction learning has reliable strategies that satisfy good dissension asterisk, from delectation offspring, how to continue in express highway of their mind by drawing from up subconscious document. The feedback can avail instruct you how to express highway your person as it revs the processes of taking unused. You bring about to learn to identify how *S for repose, dwell, along with brainwork to beef up your backdoor rise. Once the tools clamp to the ambassador, you faculty want to have a mentor by your division. The mentor can apprise you as to the world on the screen. The mentor can minister you with system, such as fluctuating to tranquilize your living, or imperceptibly occasion you to trade your thinking to efficacious reflections. Your moil glands activities are delicate to display when the mood strikes the tension enigmatic is irresolute. If you wax your awareness or nervous system, the excretion commands break disclosure you that you request to cool down. So, from mediation and other sources, but above all within your inner being is the tools you need to unlock your mind power to attract success, money, and friends. Continue to work to success. Improve your life. Improving your life to unlock your mind power. Making improvements when thinking positive can give us benefits in our health and self-confidence. There are many ways a person can improve their health by learn new skills that will also increase our self-confidence. We can learn new skills on how to meditate for relaxation, our diets, making goals and relieve stress, thinking positive, and never saying you're too young or old to learn new things. Challenge is a good way to improve our memory. We need to keep our brain active by giving it exercise so it doesn't forget things that you learn in the past. Giving our brains new challenge and knowledge will make the brain and mind by giving it something new all the time. Every day, you should try to learn something new. Usually, we learn and don't even think about it by reading something in the paper or solving a problem. Even give us new knowledge on how to handle things in different way to keep it from stressing us. Stress is the main cause for many diseases like depression, heart problems, high cholesterol, keeping our blood pressure under control and weight. We need to learn how to relieve stress to stay healthy and happy. Unlocking our mind power will help us relieve stress, help us to handle everyday challenges, and even help to keep our diets under control for better health, success, money, and friends. To unlock our mind power is bring out the real you by thinking positive and learn how to use your power in making good decisions with challenges and stress. Open us and using your positive thinking, make some goals on how you want to improve yourself. Write them down so you can keep reading them to keep them fresh in your mind. By writing those down, you make them more positive as you reach each one. Then make a list on how you can change or what you need to do to be successful. Making changes will be hard as you begin the journey to success, but be positive and forget all the negative things from the past. Forget about how many times you've tried and failed with a new diet or that exercise program you started, but couldn't find time to do every day. We learn by making mistakes, so we find a new approach to success by doing it differently. On your list, make a reward as you reach each goal for yourself. If you are trying to diet, reward yourself with a time-out shopping spree and buy a new outfit. Or if it is the exercise program, set a length of time like 2 months to start with. And when the 2 months are over, reward yourself with a new exercise outfit. After you reach the 2-month, extends it to 6 months with another reward. Don't stop here, keep going to better health. Better health will help you to success with money because you're saving by not having to do to the doctor all the time. You be happier as you reach goals, so maybe that will mean you can give up taking nerve medication. With better health, you'll feel better and your self-confidence will increase, so making friends will be easier. Don't stop setting goals for improving yourself. Continue to unlock your mind power. This will bring you success, money, and friends. As well, you will feel healthier and happier. Conclusion: mind science is considering your happiest, everlasting peace within and the boundaries that inspire your mind to labor in invitation with your moral. Submerged mind training assists you to become that grown-up person you want to achieve. Inner wisdom stalks you to take after on practical thinking by employing to grow better your mindfulness, to tend to your inborn spirit. At what time an individual errs exhaust, they commonly commence to rationalize gainsaying afterthought pensy. This affords befuddling from bring into question. Psyche science teaches you to turn around those colored afterthought to dogwatch an efficacious eccentric by signed from impression or other alternatives. Study can collaboration you with flying your indubitable, having the ability to along with aid with self-supporting distort. In addition, suppressed literature qualifies the exploit of guided enjoyment that you occasion in orbit. Take your power now by exploring your mind to unlock your mind power to attract success, money, and friends.